Here on Kincade Salciunas 97.5, the Fanatic. But, of course, the Eagles don't play till Monday. So today is one of these days where we get to spread our wings and fly a little bit, John Kincade. But first and foremost, when I say fly, the first thing I think of is the Flyers, who got another win last night, beating the Preds 3-1. Now 8-5-1 on the season. Good to see Michkov light the lamp last night.
Well, yeah, because I got to tell you that I've been disappointed a little bit with Michkov to start.
Yeah.
But that was nice. It's nice to see. And look, there's a transition to a new coaching staff, new plan.
Sure.
There's also a transition from an injury during the summer that they really don't want to talk about much.
Okay.
So he's getting there. He's getting there. I'm just impressed that after 2 straight home losses, you go to Montreal and to Nashville. You should beat Nashville. The Montreal win was a really good one, too. So now you sort of took some of the stank off last weekend. Come home against Ottawa for Star Wars Day tomorrow.
Yes.
And try to win 3 in a row. That would be their second 3-game winning streak of the year if they could do it, which in and of itself is pretty impressive.
By the way, with Star Wars night, Vladar has to start, right? Darth Vladar.
I would think so.
He has to be.
I would think so.
You can't have him on the bench during Star Wars night when his name is Vladar.
Okay, so Rick Tockett's going to give me crap about this if when we cross paths. I am absolutely anti the idea that you have to have really, really limit the time of a goaltender. I really believe it. I hear Bush talk about it on the broadcast. I do believe that it's fine. He can play last night and play Saturday.
Yes.
He's fine.
Yeah,
Let him play it, and then he won't play again till the 12th against Edmonton. I want to have a number 1 goalie on this team.
And look,
one
he had
guy.
another nice night last night.
Vladar has been fantastic. And honestly, I underestimated him. I thought he'd be a good acquisition. So far, he's been pretty great.
Well, yeah. I mean, everybody thought, all right, this is a bridge, right? A bridge to whoever the
they have good young goaltending down below.
Will be. Yeah.
They have some young goaltenders that they're excited about, but their arrival dates are more than a couple years out.
Sure.
So this is and Vladar has done a really, really nice job. And Danny Briere got criticized for the signing. Around the league, the signing was met with, that really doesn't answer. That doesn't help your problem. So for at least the early going of the season, it's
so
been
far
fantastic.
so good. Nice night for the
Great
Flyers
win. That's
last
a nice
night.
win. Good job.
8-5-1.
I love
on
hearing
the
that
season
starting
for the
with the
Flyers.
Fly Boys.
Of course, man.
It's great.
All right, now let's talk about the Eagles. Kind of.
That sounds like you're a little pensive.
No, kind of, because we're more so talking about the opponent. So you sent me an email last night with your topics that you want to get into today.
Yeah.
And you were able to hear the press conference from Matt LaFleur, who is the head coach of the Green Bay Packers. And again, if you guys remember, Matt LaFleur was one of the poster children of trying to get the tush-push banned during this past offseason.
Yes.
And so Matt LaFleur was asked about it during his press conference ahead of Monday night's game between the Eagles and Packers, a rematch of obviously opening night last year when they played in Sao Paulo, Brazil, but then, of course, in the playoffs when the Eagles beat the Packers at Lincoln Financial Field. Here is Matt LaFleur after being asked about the tush-push.
Has your opinion on it changed at all from the comments you made at the annual?
Guys, I'm not going to get into it. It is what it is. The NFL made a decision, and we have to find a way to try to stop the play, and it's a tough play to stop.
And in the email, you called him a weasel.
He's a weasel. Now, there's a little personal history as far as just knowing him a little bit.
Right, I got you.
Observing him. So I'm not a big fan.
Sure.
Not a big fan.
You've never really hid that from
I think he's extremely arrogant. Waxy eyebrows is a little arrogant. But and he was arrogant before he was anything. This is why I just got a little problem with it. But to me, at that point, if Sean Payton was asked that.
Yeah.
If Jim Harbaugh was asked that, and I'm talking about great guys either, by the way, but the idea is, I think they'd own it. If they were the poster child of trying to have something stopped,
yeah,
I think they'd own it.
Has Sean McDermott been asked about it?
Yes, and Sean McDermott doesn't. He acts like, well, the play's available, so
right.
That's how he hides behind it.
Hypocrite.
But to me, it's such a. Oh, I don't want to talk about it. When you're the poster child for trying to stop something. At that point, I think you have to say, okay, I am required to now explain to you a little bit about why I was so adamant about it.
Right.
And why our organization was so adamant.
That was from ownership. Remember, they started at first. It was the owner of the Green Bay Packers that really led that charge.
Well, yeah, the guy who is like the figurehead for the ownership. Right,
yeah.
Exactly. They were worried about it from the highest level to stop the Eagles Mainly because of the fact that they got their asses beat by the Eagles twice last year.
But even though the Packers ran it themselves, remember before he got hurt, they had Tucker Kraft doing it, where he would line up under center. It's unbelievable. But here's the deal: so you call him a weasel, and of course you do have some personal history as well. I got to ask you. So you know me as a man who enjoys good sports hate. Like I love.
Oh no, you like it more than I do.
And I have
by a mile.
I have random hates, right? Like Craig Counsell.
I find them funny.
Like I have very random sports hates. I'm here to tell you right now, the Packers are little brother, dude, and I have like no venom toward them.
Okay, explain why you have no venom.
I just I laughed at their constant push to get rid of the tush push because it was literally just sour grapes, right? They didn't come with the, we're worried about health and safety. No, they just straight up said, we don't like it. And I'm like, all right, that's actually kind of weak and funny, and I look down upon thee. I don't have, like, the playoff game, if you remember, I got a lot of crap for it. At halftime, I put out the tweet, this game's over. And I got a lot of crap for it because I was going to jinx the game. I did not respect the Packers at all in that playoff game, and everything that has went down since then, I have not respected. If you go back to the Eagles-49ers 2022 NFC Championship game, the San Francisco 49ers would not stop yapping. Now, at least they had somewhat of a reason because of the injuries, even though anybody that played quarterback, Joe Montana probably would have lost that game because the Eagles were they were a machine that year. But they at least had something to back it up with all the injuries. And then the very next year, they backed it up by pantsing the Eagles. I don't see the Green Bay Packers as like some team that I have hatred for.
Okay, I get you. The little brother thing, I don't. When the game in Sao Paulo was in the balance in the fourth quarter.
Sure.
The playoff game in Philadelphia, 6 minutes to go, you're up by less than a touchdown.
But you know how I felt. I thought that game was over.
No, you did. I don't understand.
My feet were up.
But I understand. You can't feel. The thing is, though, you can feel anything you want.
Sure.
A game that is less than a touchdown lead with 6.5 minutes to go is not done because one deflected pass,
right.
one stupid thing. But I mean, your feeling for the Packers is much different than mine. I think Monday night is a hornet's nest.
Okay.
Now, I'm telling you, just going into it on Friday morning, by Monday morning, I may feel a little bit differently. I think the Eagles are heading into their toughest, maybe their toughest assignment the rest of the year. When I look at the schedule and who they're playing and the situation they're playing them in, I think it's probably their toughest bout the rest of the year because I'm thinking Buffalo may not really need that game as much.
I still look at Detroit technically short week.
Home game Sunday night.
Detroit's got we should have played them in the playoffs. We didn't in their back pocket. So I still look at that Lions team.
Oh, but over a team that is now here's what I'm going to say to you. You're saying that over a team that is at home, that the Packers, and a team that lost twice to the Eagles last year.
Well, yeah, because the Eagles are coming off
much more.
The Eagles are coming off the bye, though.
They have much more in their pocket, as you say.
I get you, but the Eagles are
wanting
coming
to
off
beat
the bye.
the Eagles.
To me, that's a trump card, especially when Nick Sirianni still has not lost coming off the bye.
We're not doing politics today on the show, but I get you. I understand where you're at. You're approaching Connor. I think he's approaching Chest Day Monday.
No, I'm getting there. Yeah.
And I gotta tell you,
International Chest Day.
I told you yesterday that I think I'm going to be there on Monday.
I'm going to be really impressed if Andrew calls it Chest Day. I'm going to be very, very wary because I know there's no way I'm getting there by Monday.
Right.
There's no way you're going to get me there. But you could get me to a better place by some of the conversations we had. Andrew DeCecco may today with 2 hours with us.
Yep.
He may get me to a little better position. But for right now, no. If you call Chest Day Monday, if it starts the show, and there's Andrew he's ready to press.
I might not have my shirt on, John.
Well, I don't need
Please
that.
keep your shirt on.
Yeah, do that, please.
So I want to ask the audience at 610-632-0975. I will get your guys' answers on this coming up next. Where do the Packers fall for you on your updated hate list? Non-division rivals, right? Cowboys, Giants, Commanders, they're always there. Penguins, Celtics, those
Sounds like
Mets,
a Rally House commercial
those teams are always there. But what is your updated non-divisional rival hate list in sports? Text those in at 610-632-0975. I'll give mine. I'll get John and Connor's next. And coming up next, we also have the injury report. First time post-bye some very good news and one that is not. It is Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
If you're getting ready to move or maybe
Ram driving to great deals at the fall sales event at Norristown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, and get wicked good deals all month long on a Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram. Visit NorristownChryslerDodge.com. So I have 4 teams that I have more venom about than the Green Bay Packers in the NFL. This is why I look at the Packers as sort of little brother.
4 that you have more.
Yeah, and you guys know me. I have weird hates. So this is nothing new. You might just still roll your eyes at my reasonings. Rams are still number 1 for me because I despised Sean McVay. I respect him, but I despise Sean McVay, the hair gel, the pullback guy, he was the boy genius before even stepping on the football field, calling a single play. And oh, by the way, the Eagles have played very tough games with the LA Rams very recently.
And they've had good success against Sean McVay. They have the best success of any organization against him.
Yeah, the Rams don't beat you. How are they number one?
That's what I can see.
I can still hate them.
See, Connor, that's where I'm interested too, because I'm interested when I hear your list too, and we share lists. The idea of, because if someone doesn't beat me, I don't.
Yeah, I hate everything about Sean.
The weird thing is, I can tell you, and having worked for Sean's dad, like as my boss, I know the McVays. You would not. You and him would like each other. Connor and him would be best friends.
Yeah, but I literally told Connor once that if I didn't know him, I hate him. I'm like that.
But the thing is,
Sean McVay and I,
very judgmental.
Maybe Sean McVay and I have a beer together and we're best buds.
Thing is, though,
right now I hate him.
Sean and you are wired very, very much alike.
But your argument about the Packers was their little brother. The Rams are little brother too.
Yeah, but I don't.
Same thing.
Like I respect the Rams. Part of hatred is also respect. It's Ron Burgundy. I hate you, Ron Burgundy, but damn, do I respect you? I don't respect the Green Bay Packers.
Okay, I get it. I get it. Okay, but the Rams are number one.
Detroit Lions, just because they do scare me the most. And I don't.
You're so weird.
I hate when coaches are over the top, rah rah. I've always hated that. I've always been honest about that. I had some of it in my own life growing up. It's ridiculous.
The rah-rah coach is not your preference.
No, and Dan Campbell, the Dolphins, because because Mike McDaniel, and still being the head coach of that football team, they insult my intelligence. And so that's why I hate the Miami Dolphins.
Do you need like a chill pill or something this morning? You got to talk to somebody
every day. And lastly, the Pittsburgh Steelers, because they keep on lying to everybody that they're good. And they're not.
Wow. I mean, like, that's really odd to me.
I told you I have odd sports hates.
That's a really odd one because it's weird is that's where that.
I wrote the Cubs down for baseball just because of Craig Counsell.
So this is we're doing just football, right?
But I did extra credit during the commercial break.
No, but it is just football right now because it's interesting. Connor, I want to hear yours.
God, you could just give us one.
Just give us one.
Like I'm just curious.
In football.
Like we have a big game Monday night, right, for NFC purposes, trying to win the 1 seed. Like, it's an actual big game, but there's also the storylines of the tush push and everything that went down in the playoffs last year and the offseason that transpired. But I kind of laughed at the Packers with everything. I was more angry at Sean McDermott for lying, saying, oh, I'm worried about the health and safety. So I should put the Bills down there. I just like Josh Allen, but I'll put the Bills down there because of Sean McDermott. I hate what Sean McDermott did the entire offseason, and then I predicted, and I was correct, that week 1 they would run a tush-push play.
And they have.
And all will be forgotten until the next time the debate comes up. The Packers, I just don't feel that vitriol toward. I just kind of laugh at them.
Yeah, they're the only of the 31 other teams that you don't hate, apparently.
I hate
we're
them.
talking outside the division,
No,
obviously.
it can be anything. No,
outside division,
why does that have to be outside the division?
Because we're always going to hate
But
the
if it's your
Cowboys and
sports,
Commanders.
yeah, but the thing is, I don't hate the Giants and I don't hate the Commanders.
No,
I hate them.
I hate them.
Why do you hate them?
Well, because they're in your division and their fans are annoying.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have
hate
friends that are fans of those teams, and I hate those people.
Okay.
They're my least favorite friends.
All right. So you guys got a lot of, you have a lot of.
Well, mine's just the division, and then I guess if I had to pick another team, the Chiefs or the Patriots, I don't know. But I don't care about any of those teams you brought up.
I don't hate the Patriots right now. That's done.
Like, to me, it's Bucks 49ers.
Okay, fair.
Like the Bucks, I always am going to have the lasting. You guys didn't grow up in the vet, having grown up in the vet,
you. Yeah.
and to me, the worst sports loss of my life was that Sunday afternoon, and I'll never, for the life of me, figure out how the hell that happened,
Right.
how they lost that game, how we missed winning that Super Bowl, because 2002 should have been it. Should have been it. Should have won the Super Bowl that year. That, to me, is the most painful loss of my life. And I've always hated the Buccaneers since. And I consider them a real threat this year. And the 49ers. And that's because Kyle Shanahan puts out towels at the pool. He's a bad neighbor.
And look, I respect that hatred from you.
Yeah, bad neighbor.
So
bad neighbor.
Do you have the venom toward the Packers?
By the way, mini candy bars, too, at Halloween.
He's
like a mini,
he's an NFL head coach.
Snack size candy bars.
He cares about fitness.
You should be. Well, he does. You should be embarrassed.
I appreciate your hatred for Kyle Shanahan. I'm curious, where do the Packers fall for you when it comes to the non-division rival sports hatred? I just don't have it. I don't have that same energy that I had for the San Francisco 49ers after they yapped all of 2022
And they're
offseason
not
going
on your
into
list.
23. That's because
How the 49ers not on your list?
they've fallen down.
You
It's
love taking
updated.
Brock
It's
Purdy.
like-
You love ripping Brock Purdy.
It's power rankings.
You don't love Shanahan.
It's power rankings.
Okay.
Hate takes years to develop for me. You're just like
Well,
on a
that's
breeze.
because you're a
I hate
golden-
this
I'm
person now.
I'm an easy hate.
That's because he's a golden retriever.
All right.
He's sweet.
Coming up next, the Eagles injury report that came out yesterday. We'll give that to you coming up next because there is a big name on there that did not participate and still have not really heard much on his status moving forward. Also, we're going to open up something about the Phillies because not only is today a Football Friday, today is a free agency Friday in Major League Baseball. We get on the record next of what we want the Phillies to do. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Flyers find another win. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Flyers took down the Predators 3-1 down in Nashville last night as they improved to an 8-5-1 record on the year. Travis Konechny had a goal and an assist in the game. Dan Vladar pretty solid in net. And they'll be back in action at home against the Senators tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eagles got back to work yesterday as they prepare for their Monday night matchup with the Packers. First time we heard from some of the guys since the bye week, and Jalen Hurts talked about what his focus was over the bye week.
It's good to be back. Just from a macro perspective, you always take a step back and trying to assess where you are, assessing where we are as a team, and assessing where we are as an offense, and assessing where I am in my play and how I can be better, and then how we can all improve.
We also got the first injury report of the week. Cam Jurgens did not practice, raising questions at center for Monday. We'll be keeping an eye on that closely as the weekend progresses. The Sixers are off tonight. They'll host the Raptors tomorrow at 7:30 at the Xfinity Mobile Arena. Andrew DeCecco of Inside the Birds, and of course us here at 97.5 The Fanatic, joins us from the 8 o'clock hour till the end of the show. We'll talk to Kevin Negandhi of ESPN at 9:10 and Tony Jones of The Athletic for the latest on your Sixers at 9:25. I'm Connor Thomas on your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
The 6-2 Philadelphia.
At all. MBD, yeah, I don't really care about the Packers one way or another.
I'm shocked with your big brother though. Thing with them. I'm fascinated by it because I love your confidence. I love your energy.
It was
with
the
this.
whining, right? Like, to me, again, going back to 2022 and the offseason that happened, going into 23, the 49ers talked a big game, and it was nonstop, right? It would never freaking end. If anything, the Rams actually did more talking this offseason about the teams itself. Kobe Turner, remember Kobe Turner when the schedule came out?
Right.
We have that week circled, right? Like, there was more talk from the Rams about this upcoming season, whereas from the Packers, it was just the tush push, and it was whining the whole time. I got a 3.5-year-old. I know how it sounds when whining is happening. He was whining again last night that it wasn't Christmas tomorrow morning, a.k.a. today. All right, we had to have a talk with him, Johnny, that Christmas isn't for another 7 weeks.
And how did that talk go? Was that over dinner last night? Did you get into it really?
He's
okay.
It was before dinner. He's fine.
So he's okay. Good.
But, like, the Packers just whined. And to me, I just go, all right, dude. Like, I can't even feel hatred about the whiners. Like, I just look down. As I said earlier, I look down upon thee. That's what I do with the Green Bay Packers right now.
That's amazing.
And so I wonder.
I love your energy.
I wonder where the people's sports hate right now. Like, does the Green Bay Packers reach that for people right now?
And Connor, by Monday, start of the show Monday. And I want no talking when we come in as far as this topic.
I will not speak to you.
No, I mean, we can talk, but we don't talk about this. I want to know if Monday morning you call it chest day for this Packers game, because I swear to you right now, I am very – I would say I'm going to put very on it.
Who are the guys at the parking lot that bring the bench?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I don't know.
I
but
want
took the
them
video
to be here
time.
Monday morning.
I got to swear to you, I'm very apprehensive about Monday
Bring
night.
me a couple plates. Let's go.
You're not putting up weight. Stop it.
I was apprehensive about this game all year long leading up to it. I thought it was the worst when we talked about the schedule, when you guys tried to lure me into your stupid win-loss game. I told you it was the game that I thought was the game to me that looks like the worst spot for an Eagles team to be in, a home game, Monday Night Football, for a team that you beat twice last year. And now that they lost last week to Carolina at home, it to me looks even worse. Like, I'm putting a very on it. I am very apprehensive, and you may be very chesty. I wonder where the YouTubers, I wonder where our listeners on the text line, where they fall in, because on a Friday right now, I'm at the very apprehensive part, and you are about to call a chest day on Monday. I can't wait to see
I'll
it.
call it now. Chest day Monday. Can't wait. Kincade Salciunas.
So nothing will change this?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah. What's Saturday, Sunday going to do for me?
Cam Jurgens not playing?
Cam Jurgens not playing in this game?
Thank you for turning to where I've been teasing. Cam Jurgens did not participate in practice yesterday with a knee injury. We were all kind of hopeful that after the bye week that maybe he'd be available. Still did not participate. Now, Saquon, Jacorian Bennett, A.J. Brown, Nolan Smith, all full participants. Remember, A.J. Brown missed last game because of the hamstring. Adoree Jackson still limited because of the concussion. Moro Ujoma, I must have missed this.
I missed this, too.
He also had a concussion.
It's on my list because I did not. Now, maybe they didn't have to tell us, or I just
because
missed
of the bye week, maybe.
Or I just missed it.
But he was limited, so hopefully he is available. Good thing you have the extra day for Monday. And Willie Lampkin was a full participant. Now, the reason why I bring that name up, shout out to football guy Sean Rodman, who a couple of weeks ago comes up to us in the studio and just goes, hey, anyone hear anything about that guy that the Eagles poached from the Rams? And remember, it caused a stir because the Rams put him on waivers injured, and the unwritten rule is you don't pick up a guy that's injured going on waivers.
Now, to me, very much like your chest day thing, I hate unwritten rules.
I know
I
you
think
do.
unwritten rules is the stupidest thing in the world when someone says, well, it's an unwritten rule. Well, if it's unwritten for a reason.
Yeah.
Go for it, Howie.
The Eagles picked him up.
Making my man Les Snead a little mad, though, on that one.
Absolutely. And so now he is a full participant for the first time. He is a center, and he could end up being your starting center for the Philadelphia Eagles Monday night against the Packers. We'll ask more about that with Andrew DeCecco when he gets here. But I know Cam Jurgens, it's a big injury. We'll see how it plays out
Connor's
on
off to a
Monday.
wise start this morning because I think Cam Jurgens not playing is a is very makes me very anxious.
You guys just want to call it a day now because it's only getting worse back here.
Listen,
I think you're due for a great day.
I believe in Willie Lampkin. All right, you can text in. You can call him
Isn't he wasn't he a teddy bear?
610-632-0975.
Back in the day, didn't you kids in your generation, didn't you have a teddy bear that was named that or something?
No.
Something like that?
Paddington?
I had Teddy.
There was a teddy bear that
I just had a teddy bear that I named
someone will
Teddy.
know. One of our
Really original.
YouTubers will take 2 seconds to remember. It's your generation, not mine. I thought it was like Willie Lampkin. Like there was a teddy bear that was some name and it talked. It talked because one of my little cousins had it. Is all I'll know.
Well,
So you just tell
hopefully
me.
somebody could help us out.
Somebody has that.
with the Willie Lampkin.
It sounds like Willie Lampkin.
All right. I also want to do this with the Phillies for those of you listening to be a part of it, 610-632-0975. I want to officially go on the record. All right,
Okay.
no more putzing around. All right, what you want the Phillies to do this offseason. Now, obviously, we can't come up with every single name and 50 different moves because that's just not going to happen. But let's get on the record right now. I'm going to start with JT Realmuto, and I will say this. I would bring him back on a 2-year deal. If that number gets to 3, I'm not doing it, period. I'm not signing JT Realmuto to a 3-year contract. I respect what he does with this pitching staff, but if I can trade for a younger catcher, which there are names out there, obviously Adley Rutschman is a name that pops up a lot. There's the kid from Colorado that you could trade for. There are other options. The Phillies traded for JT Realmuto, so let's not act like you always need a homegrown catcher.
Amen.
But if it's 2 years, I'm doing it. If it's 3 years, I'm out.
I tell you this, is your father, he must be proud if he's listening. He must be proud because I'm proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm proud of you because I keep hearing these words, and I've written it down because I saved it. Bill Colarulo has used it. John Marks has used it. Ray Dunn has used it. They've used in the past week on this station. Ricky Bo has not. Must re-sign JT Realmuto. Anybody who tells me the Phillies must sign JT Realmuto, immediately I roll my eyes. That's like they must. In other words, whatever he wants, make sure whatever deal he gets out there, you got to match it. I'm so proud to hear you. If it's 2 years at a reasonable number, I'm all in on JT being back. All in. I don't believe you're getting him for 2 years.
Yeah.
And to me,
look, there's a market for a guy like him. I understand it.
And to me, bye-bye. Bye-bye.
I wouldn't say it so easily.
No, I wouldn't. No, I'm not. But I'm not
Like,
going.
I would be-
But I'm not going to. It's too old. This team's too old. It's
You know
old, too
the
old.
whole I would drive him to the airport. Nah, I would.
No. I don't want to see. I do. I guess what? I would love to see a reasonable 2-year deal.
Yeah.
A reasonable 2-year deal. Anything else?
I can't do.
No.
I can't.
We
Connor,
can't have the freaking Golden
get
Girls.
on the record, JT, right now.
I need him back.
Regardless.
Well, do you
Yeah.
use the word that Bill, John Marks, and Ray Dunn have used? Must. They have all used the term. Well, they must bring back JT.
I'm close to must. I'm pretty darn close to it.
By the way, Todd Zalecki, very, very respected writer, a guy who I really respect his baseball insights.
He was
and
on with Middays with Marks.
and he said, well, they got it. They have to bring back JT.
He said that about both him and Schwarber.
that they have to bring them back. And I'm just saying to myself, hope Todd enjoys covering bad baseball for a few years because it's going to happen if you sign these deals. There's going to be a couple seasons where Todd Zalecki is going to be going, oh, my gosh, it's only July.
Well, no, you sign him for 3 years. He's good next year. You don't play in 2027, and then
And then you got 2 more years of him.
No, then 1 more year.
No, you don't.
No, it doesn't count.
It doesn't
Come
count
on,
that way.
We'll wipe
No.
it all. I'll
Doesn't
talk to
count
Rob.
that way.
It's not how it
We'll
works.
talk to Manfred.
By the way, it
That's
was
how it works.
Teddy Ruxpin.
Teddy
was the bear.
Ruxpin.
We had a
Teddy
call-
Ruxpin.
We had a caller called in. They did not give their name, but thank you to the caller.
Teddy.
for
So
doing
somebody
that.
else remembered it. Teddy Ruxpin. It was a talking bear. And by the way, it was frightening.
All right, coming up next, I'm going to keep on throwing names at you guys and positions and what you guys want to do. We're all getting on the record. No more putzing around. Free agency officially started yesterday at 5 o'clock. So we'll get on the record today. We'll check our text line and our calls for the first time coming up next at 610-632-0975. Do the Packers reach that level of hate, that venom for you for a non-divisional opponent? I look down upon them. I'll be honest, I do. And then what do you want to see the Phillies do this offseason? Get on the record. We do that next. Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Whether you're at the job site,
On Kincade Salciunas 97.5, The Fanatic. Where's your sports hate these days? The Green Bay Packers? Nah, I don't really care. I want to play. Let's play the LaFleur audio one more time because again, last night when Johnny sent me his email, because that's what we do, right? Johnny sends me some topics. We throw them together in the show sheet in the morning, and then we get to work, and then we go home.
That's how it works. We get to go home.
John sent me this clip from Coach LaFleur.
Has your opinion on it changed at all from the comments you made at the annual?
Guys, I'm not going to get into it. It is what it is. You know, the NFL made a decision, and we have to find a way to try to stop the play, and it's a tough play to stop.
And that was about the tush push because the Packers were, one of the loudest voices about not liking the tush push, but they just didn't like it. And
you see that? That's
I
the worst part.
scoff at them.
That's the worst part. Is that I ask you? I have to know, and my own child would tell me, Dad, this is one of my things, but I would go, why?
Right.
I have to know why.
Because I don't like it.
I'm not doing that. I don't really want to do that, Dad. Well, you got to tell me why. You have to give me a good, and by the way, it has to be a good why. It can't be just, I don't like it. Like, it has to be a good why. And I've forced myself with this, too, is to stop poo-pooing things that I've never tried.
Right.
Like, that's something that I've tried to make a adamant effort on of going, don't poo-poo things that you haven't given them an opportunity. Like, if I haven't done anything, I shouldn't have an opinion on it.
Damn right.
I shouldn't have an opinion on it.
I agree with that.
I can say, I don't think I would like it, but I don't like it.
And now we're also getting on the record with some Phillies decisions. Our first name that we mentioned was Real Muto. Johnny and I are both in favor of bringing him back for 2 years, not going 3.
That's our breaking point. 2 years, reasonable number, though.
Connor basically says no matter what.
No. 2 years is the preferred, right? 3 I would get real sketched out with, but I think with where the catcher market is and not assuming they're going to make a trade, JT's got to be back.
Why do you see that? Okay, now let's get to the bottom of this here. I'm going to be like your therapist. Why do you assume that they're not going to make a trade?
They totally can.
They totally can. But I assume that their priority is going to be move Nick Castellanos, then potentially move somebody out of the infield. And with those two, in addition to bringing back 2 big-time free agents, I don't know that they want to add something else to the to-do board.
See,
yeah, but you can bring a catcher back in return.
For Nick Castellanos?
Or Alec.
They're bringing back you if they trade Nick Castellanos for a catcher.
The Baltimore Orioles literally have a catcher that is not going to play anymore. The Seattle Mariners have a backup to the big dumper that will not play.
And Colorado is absolutely going to shop their one catcher.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's young catchers that are out there. They're not going to be JT Real.
Sweeten it with a prospect,
and they're not going to be JT Real Muto next year. But right now, too, it was weird. Major League Baseball Network, Griff McGarry, who had a much better year, by the way, than the Golden Boy himself.
Yeah.
Is now a guy that has real market value. If you were interested in making it. Now, that says to me, I don't like trading young pitching. But if there's the right deal out there, I'd absolutely consider
20
it.
years from now, we'll forget the name Griff McGarry.
Dude, you hate every prospect, and you need to stop
See, now the thing is, though, it's a good balance, though, because I don't really want to. I really don't want to deal with the young pitching is the one that you always have to move
I'd rather bring back
off of.
Fred McGriff than wait for Griff McGarry. 610-632-0975. Let's go to Trey in Bucks County before we get to the text line. What up, Trey?
Oh, good morning. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to
man.
you
What's
too,
going on?
brother.
So I just came in. I heard you guys talk about sports hate. I love that. I see that all the time.
Yeah, like
Coming out of
every
me.
once in a while, it's good to to just put it out there in the ethers.
To
too.
vent.
It feels nice. It's a football Friday. It's a
Exactly.
feel-good Friday, whatever you want to call it.
Exactly. I'm full-blown chest. I'm like Pamela Anderson right now. My back hurts. I'm just, I'm taking Eagles -9.5.
What? Whoa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, man, that's 2 plates.
Even coming off a home loss, that it doesn't give you any apprehension.
Nah, see, I'm a football guy. No big deal, whatever.
I'm a
that
football guy.
offensive line for Green Bay is dog water. I mean, what Carolina was doing to them with 4 guys down, which I can't even name them, and like I said, I'm a football guy, but what they were doing, 4 guys down on the line, rushing 4, that was disgusting. They were all spread out. These guys look like me out there trying to, get back in pass coverage. They're just terrible.
Okay, I like your
Trey,
your-
I love you. I just want you to know. I love you, Trey.
I like your attitude. I'm
Yeah,
just going to tell you that the person on the show that is 24-12 against the spread this year, is very apprehensive about this game.
Yeah, but you keep
And
on,
he's going to 9.5.
telling us that you're going to lose eventually.
Oh, no. The bottom is going to – I know. I absolutely know. The bottom is going to bring me back more towards the mean.
Trey, give us a good sports hate real quick.
Okay, sports hate. This one, I'm not even a grudge-holding man, but Larry Fitzgerald and the Cardinals still get me because of that 2008. He ruined a relationship for me in 8th grade.
What happened?
The girl started dressing up as the Cardinals thing the following 2 weeks with the Super Bowl.
I would end that immediately, Trey. That's done.
A
Thanks for the call.
relationship in 8th grade?
That's done. Oh no, relationship in 8th grade, that's fine. But if my team lost to the Cardinals or any team, and then my girlfriend started dressing as the opposing team, that's
bad.
done. We're done.
No, that should be done.
We are over.
Did I tell you have I ever told you Larry Fitzgerald story? So we were at they used to have back in the day, thanks Scott Masteller, they used to have a thing called ESPN The Weekend.
Sure.
So we would get to go to Disney for the weekend. And they would do shows. They would do shows from Disney World.
Yeah.
So it was like Thursday, Friday, and then all the weekend shows, and we would do the shows from Disney World. It was awesome. It was like a free trip, too. Nice. Larry Fitzgerald was there as one of the celebrity stars. He had the room next to us. He literally blared he got up early in the morning to work out, and he brought his music.
Nice.
And blared it at like 5:30 in the morning. Was blaring it while he was in the shower to where he woke up the people in the rooms next to it.
That's why he's in the league and you're not.
And Larry Fitzgerald. And
if only you listen to loud music at 5 o'clock in the morning, you would have been in the NFL.
Then we found out, though, it's not good when you have a little child. And it's like, dude,
probably waking up at that time anyway.
Dude, what are you doing?
All right, what do we got in the text line, Connor? It's 610-632-0975.
All right, Media Joe checks in, says, if I weren't an Eagles fan, I would have great concern about this game for all the reasons most analysts have been discussing. The Carolina loss, the home game, the revenge game for the Packers. But my Eagles fandom always puts a thin veil over common sense analysis.
No, but in all seriousness, I understand all the reasonings why. And John, I understand your reasonings why, too. But, like, the Eagles are coming off of a bye. Like, that's
no, I've understood it.
That's huge. Like, that's a big deal. And again, I'm more worried about Detroit.
Explain to it why you think it's such an advantage over Green Bay, who's been at home, sitting in their own beds, sleeping in their own beds. They get an extra day's rest this week. Like, I don't understand the bye being this big edge. At
this point of the season, health is health, man. And they're much healthier. And Tucker Kraft going down is a big loss for them.
I do agree with you that is something that fascinates me to see how they're going to do it.
They have to figure out what they're going to do offensively. They had 8 days to do it. But they lost their best catcher, right, on offense. He was doing better than Golden and Reed and Dobbs. And I know they're getting Watson back, which he's that deep threat for them. But, we'll see. Losing Tucker Kraft's a major loss, in my opinion, for the Green Bay Packers. All right, we'll get more text messages. We'll get more calls. We're going to go with Kyle Schwarber next on the record. Kyle Schwarber, want him back, yes or no? For what? We'll talk about it. Also, I want to open up a topic based off of the insanity of John Kincade at the end of the show yesterday. Wanting to remove the division banners in the link.
Which, by the way, got very good response.
I know it did.
And it seems like
what is your sports take that has nothing to do with the field of play? I'll explain more next because I have some as well.
So now it's spurred something in you.
It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The Eagles are back from the bye. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Eagles got back to work yesterday as they prepare for their Monday night matchup with the Green Bay Packers. So they're back off the bye week, and they've got some new faces until post-trade deadline. Nick Sirianni met with media yesterday, and he talked about the new players that Howie Roseman and his staff acquired.
Looking forward to being able to coach those guys. Every one of them has a familiarity with a different guy on our coaching staff, which is always really good. That doesn't always happen that way. Talented guys, each bringing a different thing and bringing depth to our positions.
And you're running into a big matchup with those new guys taking on those Packers, as mentioned. We also got our first injury report of the week. Cam Jurgens did not practice yesterday, raising questions at center for Monday. The Flyers took down the Predators 3-1 as they improved to an 8-5-1 record on the year. Travis Konechny, a goal and an assist in the game. They'll be back in action at home against the Senators tomorrow at 1 p.m. And the Sixers are off tonight. They'll host the Raptors tomorrow at 7:30 at the Xfinity Mobile Arena. So a chance for the beautiful South Philly doubleheader. Andrew DiCecco joins us coming up from the 8 o'clock hour to the end of the show. Kevin Nagandi of ESPN will join us at 9:10, and Tony Jones of The Athletic at 9:25. This update is brought to you by King's Hawaiian Sliders. Eli Manning reminds you there's nothing like football on King's Hawaiian Sliders. King's Hawaiian Sliders make you a winner on game day. Pick them up this weekend in the bakery or deli section of your grocery store. I'm Connor Thomas on your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
I've made that decision. I can't.
Whatever it takes. So you're saying blank check to Kyle Schwarber?
Yeah, if it's 5 years, Kyle Schwarber, his bat in this lineup is too important for me to let go. I don't know where you come up with not just the 50 home runs. It's also the RBI. It's the middle of the order power. Now that they finally put him in the correct spot of the order, not this stupid leadoff crap. Also the leadership qualities. That's something that I think. We mention all the time, but that obviously is a big part of it too. Ever since Rhys Hoskins left, Kyle Schwarber's been the voice of the locker room. So I would say whatever it takes for Kyle Schwarber.
Okay, I'm going to say to you right now, who hit 50 home runs for Toronto?
Nobody.
Who hit 50 for the Dodgers?
Did Ohtani reach
Shohei
there?
Ohtani.
Yeah, he
I mean,
reached
sorry,
50.
there's it. Shohei Ohtani, we're not even Kyle Schwarber and Shohei Ohtani, not in the same realm.
One is going to win MVP.
No, I
One's going to
understand.
be runner-up.
I understand. But if you're talking about Shohei Ohtani, a player still absolutely has years of his prime left,
Yeah.
Kyle Schwarber not.
But Kyle
pay-
Schwarber's not getting an Ohtani contract that gets deferred for 55 years.
Kyle Schwarber is not going to ever, which, by the way, the Phillies could do for
Yeah,
Kyle Schwarber,
any team could.
don't. But they don't, for whatever reason. To me, I can't agree with it at all. If it's 4 years, I absolutely will consider it, but it's not whatever it takes, because if that keeps – John Middleton is a guy who obviously has set a budget.
Sure.
So whatever it takes doesn't work for me.
I say whatever,
4 years,
whatever it takes.
4 years of a market deal for Kyle Schwarber and not beating out the Mets or beating out – I would be willing to let him walk if it meant stupid contract that had to go 5 years. 4 is my limit.
All right.
That's it.
Connor, you've already said Real Muto, even if it's 3. What about Schwarber?
Whatever
You're going to bring the whole
takes.
team back.
No, I'm not. I'm absolutely not. We're 2 guys in. Calm down. Whatever it takes. Because I'll tell you what's going to happen.
What's going to happen?
Okay? Or what could happen. If Kyle Schwarber, because the Phillies don't want to go to 5 years, and they take the leader of this clubhouse, and a guy who hit 56 home runs and had 132 RBIs last year, and they let him walk in division to the New York Mets, I will sit in front of my television and cry every single time he hits a ball out of Citi Field.
I don't think Kyle Schwarber's going to the Mets if he goes. I think it would be more likely that he'd go to Boston. Would be one that is supposedly a team that's going to – and I wouldn't care as long as – look, I want a reset. So I get both of your points. But I'd love Kyle Schwarber on a 4-year deal, and if it's a market deal, not a set-the-market crazy deal for a guy, again, who is never going to – he's never going to be better than what we saw this year. Unless there's
but
something.
If he's hitting
unless
45
there's some,
bombs, I'm still
No, but that's what I'm
thrilled.
saying is I'm not paying guys for what they did. I'm paying guys for what I know they could do in the future because I've already got 2 guys that are huge declining assets.
Question for you.
As far as that.
3 because Nola's on there too.
Well, Nola there too.
Non-baseball question, but Kyle Schwarber related. Who leads this team if Kyle Schwarber walks?
I don't know.
It's a good question.
I don't know what the makeup of the team is because here's the crazy thing is we have 2 guys with absurd contracts that in Harper and Turner who aren't.
Yeah, they're not.
Who aren't leaders. And to me, that's more of the problem of it. And yes, if I could move one of their contracts, I would. If I could move Harper or Turner, I would. Because none of them are going to be better in the future than what we've seen. None of them are none of them are ascending. They're not ascending players.
Yeah. But
so to me, if I could move either one of their contracts, I'd move it.
Yeah, my only thing is you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, WPN, HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Group Station,
smooth.
broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. Like, I get what you're saying about how they're not ascending anymore. But, like, it doesn't mean that next year's going to be the bottom falls
No, and that's
out,
not,
right?
that's
like
not what I'm saying.
Trey Turner could very well hit 300
he won the batting
again
title
next
this
year.
year.
How many non-ascending players? Though, look, you've got, what do you have, 8 years of Turner left? 6 years of Harper.
Yeah.
6 years of Harper, 8 years of Turner. They're not ascending players.
Sure.
So now you want to add 4 years or you go more than 5 years because you guys have said whatever it takes.
I would go 5 for
5 years of Schwarber, not an ascending player. And now you're going to add 3 years of Real Muto, not an ascending player. It is the definition of insanity by baseball standards. This is not how you win in baseball.
It's how the Dodgers just won.
No, it isn't. They're not. It isn't because they still have guys who are still in absolute prime, their biggest guy.
But they're not ascending. Ohtani is, but Mookie Betts is not ascending. Freddie Freeman is not ascending. Will Smith is not ascending. Teoscar Hernandez is not ascending.
And you know what they are? They're all better than the guys you have. You already know they're better than the guys you have.
Why did Trey Turner lead the National League in batting average, and why did Kyle Schwarber lead the National League?
Trey Turner cost you. And Trey Turner cost you game one of the divisional series.
Trey Turner is also he turns into a puddle in the
Totally
correct.
And he can't even execute a routine play that would have kept the game 3-0 in the first game. You're up 1-0 on the Dodgers. That whole series changes. So you can't trust him.
Okay, so go get a guy that makes the routine plays, and he's going to hit 260.
But the thing is,
you got to pick one or the other.
You just mentioned Mookie Betts.
Mookie Betts stunk for most of the season.
I'll take Mookie Betts.
He had a horrible illness.
Right.
Remember, he lost like 50 pounds.
Yeah.
I'll take Mookie Betts 100 times out of 100 over Trey Turner.
Austin Hayes over there.
Over Trey Turner, 100 times out of 100. Tell me I'm going to war in the postseason knowing that I've got Mookie Betts on my team.
Okay, but here's the thing. We're comparing them to Lock Hall of Famers, too. There is a big difference between where the Phillies and Dodgers are at and where a lot of the rest of the league is.
So I do have somebody asking on YouTube. Money Mar is wondering if you do allow Kyle Schwarber walk, what would your plan be if Kyle Schwarber does?
Well, the thing is, I got to see what the other moves are. What you freed up. If you freed up Kyle Schwarber's money and then you've moved on from a Castellanos and maybe a Bohm. Then
but you know what it's going to be? It's going to be a Bregman or a Tucker or a Bellinger.
Okay,
they're not going to let Kyle Schwarber walk and then hope that Daniel Rincones or whatever, Gabriel Rincones.
If I could have Tucker for the next 4 years or 5 years, I'll take Tucker.
He wants 7.
He's going 7, and some are saying almost $500 million.
And I'm not going that much as far as the contract. I'm not one of those whatever it takes. I absolutely would take Cody Bellinger. But Cody Bellinger's deal would have to be good, and I've been wanting Cody Bellinger here forever.
Yeah, it's just this.
It's just one of those
same story for 4 years now.
Seems like we hear it, but I don't want more lockdown old guys. They'd have such an old team, and then people are saying sign Bregman. You're going to get another guy.
That's the market for a lot of these guys. So if you nickel and dime them, Kyle Schwarber walks, you're going to end up having Otto Kemp as your DH.
No, you're not.
And you're going to lose a lot of baseball.
No, you're not, because you're going to free up Kyle Schwarber's money.
But you're saying with the guys that you want to bring in, you won't go to the contract length that they want. You got to give concession somewhere, John.
No, but the thing is, I'm going to consider going with other guys longer because I think that I don't want to be as old. You're going to have the oldest starting 5.
Yeah.
If you bring back Real Muto and Schwarber, you're going to starting 8, excuse me. You'll have the oldest starting 8. And then people are like, sign Alex Bregman too. So you're going to get older at third base by 2 years. Then you're going to think it's insanity.
Let's talk about third base.
It's nuts.
Again, I don't know what the other option other than Bregman would be. You guys know I'm done with Bohm. I have been for 2 years now. I literally wrote down on my show sheet here, I don't care if it's John Kincade, I need a new third baseman. All right?
No, it's not.
I can't have Alec Bohm.
The arm's not there for third. Second, we can do.
You got the bat, though, right?
No.
I need a third baseman with pop.
Well, that's
period.
not me.
And Alec Bohm, I can't do the Alec Bohm thing anymore. I am done. I have been done. I'm done, over. I just don't know who else it would be. You're not going to bring in a Eugenio Suarez, right? That's not going to be.
That's getting older.
That's not going to be your.
He'll be 36 next year.
He'd be a 1-year deal. I saw an article.
Why do you say that?
Because no one's paying that guy.
You think Suarez is getting a 1-year deal? I do not.
He might be. Remember?
I don't think he's getting a 1-year deal.
Nelson Cruz just kept getting a 1-year deal.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's going to get
for 4 straight years.
I don't think he's getting 3 or 4, but I think he's getting a multi-year deal, at least 2.
I saw an article, and I'm not saying I want this, but this is where the market is questionable. I saw an article where the Phillies might trade for Nolan Arenado, and here we are again.
Oh my gosh, how old are you going to get there?
You want to talk about getting old?
What is he? How old's he?
He's 36.
Oh my
already.
gosh.
Yeah, he's 35, turning 36.
This is insanity.
Bregman might be your only option. Unless you are going to do a Sosa for a year and then Aiden Miller comes
Aiden Miller's not going to be a third baseman. Right. They've already said he's going to be a shortstop. That is what Dave Dombrowski has mentioned, shortstop twice.
But he could be a shortstop 5 years from now. He could come up as a third baseman to start.
See, I think it's going to be Turner.
It's like Machado. Remember, Manny Machado was he was a shortstop, comes up as a third baseman. They still had J.J. Hardy. Remember that name? At shortstop. Yeah,
the fact that Dombrowski keeps saying shortstop with Aiden Miller.
But he could be the shortstop of the future. He could come in as a third baseman.
I don't believe they want that, though. I believe they want to get him in where I think when somebody's that definitive about it, because he can play the left side of the infield.
Right.
He can play second, too, by the way. I mean, and he can absolutely play second, but I just want to see movement. And it's not all these big name guys.
Your options at third base, and let's think about this, are either you just don't trade Bone because he's got 1 year left on his contract.
And I would, by the way, I'm leaning towards that.
I'm out.
No, I'm leaning towards the idea of not trading him.
Yeah, I can't see him on third. I can't see him there ever again. I'm sorry. I might turn off the TV every time he bats.
I was out, but if Bregman's your other option, I don't really want Bregman on this team.
Or you do a year of a Sosa or somebody, like an Otto Kemp.
You're not doing a year of that.
An Otto Kemp
Not if you want to go to a World Series.
Hey, by the way, remember we talked about the PR spins that have been going out there? Don't be surprised if it's a year of Otto Kemp.
I would make the change at second. There's better options at second base in free agency than there are at third.
There are better options, and to me, AOA-OK, apologies to all of you who love singing the song and thinking of the daycare. I'm done with saying, okay, now he can be an everyday short second base.
I wrote down here, Stott Sosa full-time platoon. No,
I'm fine with that.
Second base, day one, opening day, if it's a right-handed pitcher on the mound, Bryson Stott is playing second base. If it's a left-handed pitcher on the mound, Edmundo Sosa is playing second base. I'm doing that. That is my on the record. That's what I want to do.
That's the first thing we agree on.
Well, guess what? Then they've got two platoons already.
What did I agree on?
Real Muto.
Oh, Real Muto, too. Yeah, we agree on that one, too. Okay, that's good. I'd be up a full-time platoon there. I'm okay. Yeah. I'm okay with that.
Period. And what other platoon are you talking about?
Right field. It's got to be a platoon.
How do you know?
Why do you say that?
Because you're going to keep Brandon Marsh.
Well, you don't know that.
Crawford's coming up. He'll play every day.
He'll play left.
I imagine they try to bring back Bader.
He'll play center.
And then you try to figure out the deals with right
field.
field.
So you think they're going to bring back Bader?
Marsh and somebody else.
I do not. I think Bader's gone.
All right, look, we'll continue to talk about this. 610-632-0975. I want people to officially get on the record today when it comes to the moves you want the Phillies to make. Give us some good sports tape because the Packers, I actually don't feel it. And coming up next, I want to get into this non-X's and O's sports takes that we have. Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic. I'll tell you about that FanDuel Sportsbook app. Well, the Broncos won yesterday. They did not cover. FanDuel Friday in partnership with Valley Forge is turning it up. How about this? With NBA Happy Hour. If you put Happy Hour next to anything, I'm in. All right? And this one's for gambling. Every Friday from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Eastern, FanDuel is dropping limited time specials to get you in the zone. Boosts, bonuses, surprises, all designed to bring that Friday energy. This isn't just another promo. It is your weekly pregame. So NBA Happy Hour every Friday from 6 to 7:30 Eastern, only on FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NBA. Just visit FanDuel.com/Fanatic. That's FanDuel.com/Fanatic to grab your reward before the clock expires. You got to be 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania, opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration. Wow, grammar's good. Leg requirements and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Unfiltered with Ricky.
chat, I know is a big Alec Boehm fan. At least I
Okay.
think. I don't want to put words in your typing, Trevor, but I believe it was Trevor Rice who, before the divisional round of the playoffs, predicted that Alec Boehm would win the series MVP if the Phillies won. And by the way,
I thought he was going to have a good
Alec
series,
Boehm
and he did.
He did have a good series.
He did have a good
to
series.
his credit. So, he did have a good series. It helped that Brandon Marsh batted behind him, so they just kept walking Alec Boehm because Brandon Marsh somehow was your fifth hitter in
Alec
a
Boehm had some big
playoff
hits, though,
series.
didn't he?
Yeah, he one. But
I thought he had more than that.
he sends it on the YouTube chat. Wah, boom, wah. I don't care.
What is it? I don't understand.
It's like, you know what this is? We always talk about the fatigue, like the Embiid fatigue and all that kind of
Okay.
stuff. It's kind of like Tobias for me. Like, Alec Boehm doesn't.
What is Alec Boehm
doesn't
shown?
really do anything wrong, but he doesn't do necessarily anything great.
How about that every time you talk about a puddle, he's a guy who tells you flat out he doesn't like the pressure.
He straight up said it.
He said
after
it.
Play. Like, I can't have a guy that admits that the moment was too big
I
for
can't,
him.
that's at the point where
Like-
I'm ready to part ways.
Yo, dude.
But I don't find it the necessity of, okay, this is the number one necessity you got to worry about. But the minute someone tells me, yeah, this is a little too much pressure.
Yeah, I'm out.
Okay, I'm done.
I'm out.
I'm done.
And I understand Trevor says, I don't want you're going to also trade Castellanos for nothing. I don't know what the market is for Alec Boehm. I really don't. He's got 1 year left on his deal. I don't know what
It's
the
going to
the
be
market
better
is.
than last year's market as far as being able to move him because he has 1 year left.
Right.
So
And it's a very cheap contract.
And people buy into the contract year thing that players amp it up in their contract years. But I don't know that. I don't know. It's not a necessity for me to move on from him right now. It's not a necessity. He would be down on the shopping list of priorities because I am intrigued by the contract year stuff.
Sure. All right. What do we got on the text line? We have a couple things on the table here today at 610-632-0975. Green Bay Packers. You face them Monday night. I just don't have that venom that somebody like John Kincade has for the Green Bay Packers. And when it comes to the Phillies, we want you to get on the record the decisions that you want the Phillies, the moves to make, either bringing guys back. And if we haven't mentioned a player yet, that's fine. Just whatever you want. Is there a free agent? Is there a trade? Is there a player that you don't want to come back? Whatever. Get on the record.
Can I ask you flat out, though, is that because I'm here Connors, too. You absolutely believe, you said, I just want to make sure I'm not putting words in your mouth. You believe they're bringing back Bader. I do not.
Who else is going to play center
They
field?
just paid him $3 million to go away.
Well, no, that was in the contract.
I understand, but they let that happen. They
It
could
was
have
a
No,
mutual
it was a
option.
mutual. Yeah,
I understand.
he's going to try to make more money.
I understand, but they could have worked a deal where they said, "Okay, we're paying you the 10. We're going to extend you 1 or 2," and kept.
He
it.
wants to test the market.
Yeah, the
Okay.
mutual option was for the 10
He
mil.
just had
No,
a
but they-
career, his
yeah.
best season of his career or second half of his career.
But you could say to him, "We're going to keep you. We're going to take the 10 mil. We're going to do that deal. But here's what we're going to do: we're going to extend you by 2 years, and we're going to pay you this, and a player can take that."
Here's
they
my
let him
answer,
walk
though.
and paid him 3.
Here's my answer. If I'm him and I've got that in the deal, I'm saying I'm taking my free $3 million.
Yeah, and trying to
if
get
you
2
really
years,
like
yeah.
me, you'll pay me anyway.
Yeah.
And by the way, his energy is something that the rest of the players on this team seem to not have, and I would like that.
Okay, here's what I would say to you both. There is a big book on Harrison Bader.
Sure.
And we did get the best of Bader after
Yeah, I'm
the
not
trade
going
deadline.
into some
He was
major
amazing.
bidding war, but
Well, you do expect, though, by saying you expect him to be back, you expect the Phillies are going to be like, well, he's not walking. We're going to do what it takes to
well, if
get
it's
him
like
back.
2 for 30, so 15 per. He got 10. He was getting.
That's a little high for me. That's a little high for me
money
because he hasn't
All
been that kind of player. He hasn't, like, his career tells you we got the anomaly. We got the blip on the radar.
Yeah, but you know what? I also know that I can pencil him in center field. I don't have to do this. Marsh isn't a center fielder. We'll see
Okay,
what
no, you're
let's
right,
see
you're
what
right,
Johan
you're right,
Rojas is.
Okay.
Let's go back to the days of Roman Quinn. Can
I'm-
he become a Major League Baseball? Like, I know that Harrison Bader is a Major League Baseball player and can play center field. Not is he a corner outfielder or is he a center? No, he is a center fielder, and I know that.
He doesn't. He unlike Brandon Marsh, he knows how to break on a ball.
Exactly. And like
He knows
I
right.
can't keep doing that with guys that don't play center or are not true center fielders playing center field.
Okay, then I'm with you. I would like Bader to be back on the right deal because of that same thing. I want stability. I want to see a more stable lineup. The less Rob has to do, I'm better with.
Yeah,
as far as
he's-
strategy.
He's the one guy where it's like make the money work that we've talked about so far, because I do worry about the production, him getting paid off post-trade deadline, and I don't think he's that guy over 162.
Yeah, I don't think so
You
either.
agree? We're all on the same page then?
Yeah, he's not half to bring back. He's a try and figure out what the market is, and if he fits,
even though
let's
he
go.
was hitting like 700 with the Phillies, they were still batting up until Turner's injury. They were still batting him, what, 7th or 8th in the order?
He hit 307. He's like a career 250-something hitter.
Yeah, no, he's still going to be a bottom of the year order hitter, but
He's going to be
know
what,
that,
like a 7 hitter?
Yeah, like, look, what if Bader's your 8-hole hitter and Stott's your 9-hole hitter on the days where Stott starts? Like, I'll take that. I have 2 great fielders. I got a center fielder and a second baseman that I know will play great defense for me.
And that up the middle is a huge thing, especially with a team with where you've got some pitching, where you're expecting that, very good to see. The Phillies are very, very committed. It's obvious Wheeler's coming back.
Right.
They added him to the roster yesterday again, which they had to do, which is good. It just tells you Wheeler's coming back, and they're very confident.
What do we got on the text line?
Joe the Cynic checks in and says, go ahead, keep re-signing the existing aging players and leave no cash for free agents that can actually help this roster.
Joe the Cynic is a smart look. Do we think we know what Trey Turner is under pressure in the postseason?
Yeah, I have a pretty good understanding.
Yeah.
Do we think that Bryce Harper, based on the last 2 years, is a guy that looks like he's an ascending big stage postseason player?
No.
I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what we're doing of saying, let's get older. Let's get old. This team is going to, I'm telling you, we're heading to a cliff, and I feel like I'm the only one saying, hit the brakes.
No, we're not heading to a cliff. What's happening is the ship is already in the harbor, and you're yelling from the dock. That ship has sailed, John. They're already old. There's no way out of them.
Yeah, but you don't have to get older.
The ship's gone. They have one way. You got to bring back Schwarber. You got to really look at.
It isn't one way.
You could pull in. You can talk to Major League general managers, Connor, and they could look at this team and go, "No, you do not have to do things."
They could do something that no one wants to hear, especially considering there's a potential lockout the next year. They could take a step back season. They could.
You're not required to sign bad contracts.
They could very well go into this offseason and we not feel great going into 2026, unfortunately. Then you have the lockout, because here's the deal. How many teams are going to be signing players to certain lucrative contracts knowing you might lose a whole year?
Especially by age.
And so now all of a sudden, 2 years later, you try to revamp and try to build something. Nobody wants to hear it.
And they're
not going to do it.
And I'm going to tell you, Cap's coming. I really believe a cap is coming to baseball.
Sure, but
every other pro sport has it. And these contracts are going to screw you over.
Okay, you've already got $1 billion out to Aaron Nola, Bryce Harper, and Trey Turner.
So
whether
why
you
make
like
it
or
worse?
not, you're already stuck.
No, but you're not. You don't have to sign more. You don't have to go when you're already in debt, $20,000 on your credit card. You don't have to go put $7-8 grand more on it.
Might as well try to win now.
You could be gambling and trying to win that money back.
That's a great strategy.
All right, coming up next, we got some Eagles stuff for you. Who wants to hear a masterclass of saying the right things to get fans to love you right away? Maybe Jalen Phillips listened to some Bryce Harper press conferences. You'll hear from Jalen Phillips as well as Jair Alexander next here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
All right, guys, you got to come hang out with me tomorrow. It's Connor Thomas from Kincade Salciunas, and I'm going to be busy up at Patty Wax on Roosevelt Boulevard in the great Northeast tomorrow, Saturday, November 8th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. before the Sixers take on the Raptors. We're going to have an awesome pregame party going. We got $4 Corona bottles and Modelo drafts. It's the perfect way to get ready for tip-off. And you know the best part? You could score free Sixers tickets. I went last Friday. Celtics were in town. And the Sixers didn't win. And last year when this team didn't win, you know what happened? They lost by like 40, and it sucked, and nobody you knew played, and everybody's hurt. This year, they're in every game. They're fighting to the final whistle, and it's a beautiful thing to watch these young guys play. It's an exciting team. Take it from someone who's been in the building, and you could score those tickets for free. So don't miss your shot to win your way into an upcoming game. It's 97.5 The Fanatic Sixers pregame party. So bring your friends, grab some cold drinks, and get ready to cheer on the squad. For all the details, visit 975thefanatic.com. We'll see you tomorrow, this Saturday at Patty Wax on Roosevelt Boulevard. Sponsored by Corona. Must be 21 plus. Please drink responsibly.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Flyers take down the Preds. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Flyers beat the Predators 3-1 last night as they improved to an 8-5-1 record on the year. Travis Konechny had a goal and an assist in the game. They're going to be back in action at home against the Senators tomorrow at 1 p.m. And the Sixers are going to be back in action tomorrow at the Xfinity Mobile Arena as well. A 7:30 p.m. game against the Raptors. So you got a chance for the South Philly doubleheader if you got nothing going on your Saturday. Just make sure you come see me at Patty Wax like I mentioned. But the Eagles, they're back in action. They're a little bit busy. They got back to work as they prepared for their Monday night matchup with the Packers. And, well, you've got some audio from Jalen Hurts talking about what he did over the bye week.
It's good to be back. Just from a macro perspective, you always take a step back and try and assess where you are, assessing where we are as a team, and assessing where we are as an offense, and assessing where I am in my play and how I can be better, and then how we can all improve.
So we'll see what the Eagles worked on to improve during the bye week. We also got the first injury report of the week. Cam Jurgens did not practice, raising questions at center for Monday. Andrew Duchek will join us from the 8 o'clock hour to the end of the show to talk the latest on the Birds. Kevin Nagandi of ESPN at 9:10. Tony Jones for the latest on the Sixers at 9:25. This update's brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. Looking for an exceptional driving experience? Experience the power, precision, and intelligence of an iconic Mercedes-Benz SUV at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer today. I'm Connor Thomas on your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5.
Friday here on Kincade Salciunas 97.5, The Fanatic, brought to us by Norristown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. Driving to great deals at the fall sales event, Norristown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. Get wicked good deals all month long on a Chrysler Dodge Jeep or Ram. Visit NorristownChryslerDodge.com. It's also a free agency Friday. Major League Baseball, 5 o'clock yesterday. It opened up. Was there a single move made? I looked at transactions.
I did not see anything.
Nothing was on MLB.com.
Not that I saw.
Other than players being retained.
Sure,
like, and things like that, no.
Brian De La Cruz, minor league deal
That's
with the
right.
Phillies.
Former Marlin.
Had a 21 homer season in 2024.
That's your right-handed power bat right there. The offseason's over. Dave Dombrowski, you're done. Good job,
He had how
man.
many home runs?
21 homers in 2024 between two teams.
He's big, isn't he? Like
Yeah, I think he's a tall guy.
Yeah. Okay. Iron Pigs, baby. Oink, oink.
Yeah,
I'll take him over Weston Wilson.
We'll keep on winning the AAA championship.
We did not do that this past year.
No, they didn't.
No.
Sorry, I wasn't really paying much attention.
Well, they got let down by a star pitcher who was supposed to carry them.
Yeah, that's right. I'll be
Didn't
here
happen.
next year, though. Eagles.
Yeah, they won't worry about him being up here with the club. He won't have to earn it. Where other guys do.
Eagles are about to play Monday Night Football against the Green Bay Packers. And you'll also see some Eagles making a debut. Well, we know for a fact Jalen Phillips will make his debut. Not entirely sure about Jair Alexander just yet, but both of them had a chance to speak to the media yesterday outside of their lockers. Here was Jalen Phillips talking about his excitement to join the Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I was excited day one. I mean, talk to me now. Like, this is literally the greatest thing that's happened to me in my whole life, probably. But it's just awesome. I mean, the guys are awesome. Everybody's been super welcoming. I love the environment here. I love the vibe here. The city of Phillies, giving me a very warm welcome. I got about 20 times the amount of Instagram likes that I ever got on the post before from the Philly fans, so shout out to y'all. But yeah, it's been great so far, getting out there practicing. I love the weather here. I love the locker room. Everything's awesome.
The Instagram likes.
Yeah, whatever.
That's important,
Dude, that
baby.
matters for people, all right? Jalen Phillips saying it's the happiest day of his life.
That was fun.
That tells you how much it must suck to play for a horrible organization like the Miami
And
Dolphins.
you're talking about you can live in some beautiful spots right where every day you wake up to great weather, no taxes, no state tax,
and
things
he's
like
like,
that.
no, I got out of that crappy
Let me
situation.
go to the Frost this morning, Frost, and take care of it. He's happy to be here.
Now-
This is a guy who wants to win.
He mentioned that he loves the weather here.
He wants to win.
Well, I'm talking about
It's been a beautiful week.
It has been a
weather-wise.
beautiful week. I
If
guess
you like fall weather.
right. It's going to get cold pretty soon. He was born in Redlands, California. I don't know what the.
Well, Redlands, he does not experience winter.
Okay, so
He doesn't experience winter.
he'll
but
experience
he's-
winter soon.
Yes.
But
He
I
may not like it as much.
Yeah, we'll see. But I love his excitement. And look, the guy seems to be a gamer. You go from a 2-6. It's like, dude, it's like Harrison Bader, right? Harrison Bader goes from the Minnesota Twins that were just spiraling out of control. All of a sudden, you wake up and you're on what should have been a World Series contender. Jalen Phillips gets traded from a 2-7 team and goes to the 6-2 defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles.
You know that, wow, my dream for most of these guys, my dream to get a ring is alive. My dream now is an actual concept that I can grasp. And
his dream to also get paid is now
yes.
there as well, because if he plays well for the Eagles on a contract year second half of the season, I would imagine that would help his market out a little bit.
He's got 2 Monday night football games to play in. He's got he'll most likely have at least one home playoff game to play in.
He's got the Sunday night against the Lions.
He's got the Sunday night against the Lions.
Black Friday game.
Black Friday. He has so much, and for a guy wanting to get paid, and also, but I really believe it's about winning for him.
Yeah,
like he's like, oh my gosh, now I'm coming to work with an agenda to be actually able to do something.
Look, I understand. You and I have had this conversation before. Forget Luis Robert Jr. We've talked about players that may not have been playing great on bad teams. Period. Not just baseball, right? Any team. And I understand that you have the mindset of, well, you should still go to
I don't
work
want
every
that.
single
Yeah, I don't
day.
want that. I don't want that guy. Especially if it's a long period of time.
But at some point, I imagine it beats you down. And now football's week to week, and you can't go through the motions in a football game or you'll get wrecked, right? Like that would happen to you. But I can only imagine how much better of a player you could be, even if it's marginal, just because you're on a situation where you're like, wow, I'm playing for something right now for a team other than just myself.
It is. It's a credit to Jeffrey Lurie to Howie Roseman and to what they've accomplished and to the culture that Nick Sirianni's built, that players are gravitating to this.
Yeah.
You want to be a part of it. You feel it. And again, I said it before the season, and I really meant it. I waited my whole life to root for a franchise and root for a team that is sort of like this Eagles squad is right now, where it appears the window and the runway is long and wide open for continued knocking on the door for parades. And I've waited my whole life for it.
How does Jair Alexander feel about being a member of the Philadelphia Eagles? Will he play? We'll find out. But here was Jair Alexander outside of his locker yesterday.
Why do you think in Baltimore things didn't seem to work out in terms of you getting on the field?
Well, I think they just had some guys they wanted to play, some younger guys, but I'm excited about this opportunity here.
So it wasn't a physical thing. You feel like ready to go and get out there?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, so I have a little reconnaissance on that from yesterday. Buddy of mine in Baltimore who does what we do for a living, saying that no bueno on special teams.
Okay.
Not a guy who really is in any way excited about, like, oh, you want me to do the stuff on special teams too?
Right.
And John Harbaugh, special teams
coach before he becomes a head coach. Yeah.
And the mentality at Baltimore is if you're on the roster, you do whatever it takes. That I've been told that could have been the block with him in the organization.
Okay. Now look, Adoree Jackson is a guy that doesn't play special teams.
So he just knows that as Andrew Pacheco has told us, he just knows that's how that can keep you off the field.
Right, absolutely could. But Adoree Jackson was a starter, right? So we'll see. Again, I don't even know if he dresses on Sunday. We don't know. We have no idea.
It's a little early to think he's dressing. But on Monday,
like Jalen Phillips, you can say, "Pin your ears back, kid. Go after the quarterback." Whereas Jair Alexander has to learn sort of how this defense operates first. All right, let's go to the phones. Let's go to Larry in PA. What's up, Larry?
Good morning. First off, as we all are great Philly fans, this lineup in 2025 was constructed incorrectly. We need a right-handed power back. So we picked up Bader. Bader did really good. He got hot for a while. He's not a power back. Now we have Crawford, who should have been up here September the 1st. He would have pinched Grant for Castellanos in that position there. So their construction of their lineup is bad. And they need to fix that.
Not only would Crawford have pinched Grant, Crawford could have been a starter for all we know. When Bader gets hurt, who knows what options you could have had. Instead, you had Weston Wilson.
Again, and I'll use the baseball reference number. Justin Crawford's season, he had a year that only 3 players in history of baseball have ever done a AAA where they didn't get called up.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I'm getting tired of them. I'm tired of them saying he only hits ground balls. He hits 350 with 50 stolen bases, and he plays center field where you needed a center fielder. You picked up Bader. Bader's a nice guy. He's a lifetime 250 hitter. That's great. We need a power bat on the right-handed side to mix up with all these left-handers. We had Max. We have Marsh. We have Stott.
Yeah. And the amazing thing is, Larry, there were smart baseball guys. Thanks for the call. Like Andrew Salciunas, who have been saying that for 2 years. And the president of baseball operations somehow has missed that.
I'll tell you.
They needed a right-handed power bat last year. They signed Max Kepler. He bats left-handed.
I'm warning you right now. I don't want to see Cooper's grade school years be the Phillies in that purgatory period.
Yeah, but you know what? When he goes to college at Temple, he can take the Broad Street line to the playoff games.
Well, why would he think it's going to? Hey, it's not necessarily ever going to come back. Once you lose it, it doesn't necessarily.
It's never going to come back.
No, it doesn't necessarily come back.
It'll come back.
Is what I said. Necessarily.
You just heard from Jalen Phillips and Jair Alexander. What does Nick Sirianni think about his newest players? He spoke about Phillips, Alexander, and this other new guy named Brandon Graham. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Philadelphia is a sports city full of passionate
in the next segment for the final 2 hours of the show, normally on a Thursday, but because the Eagles play on Monday, he's joining us today. So Football Friday with Andrew DeCecco for the final 2 hours of the show. We'll continue talking Phillies offseason. Don't worry, the Free Agent Friday that we also have alongside our Football Friday will not go away. And I want to bring this up real quick before we get to Nick Sirianni. So yesterday, you talked about how you would like the division banners to be removed from Lincoln Financial Field.
Or one banner to be placed in a different spot in the stadium where you have just the years that you win the NFC East, which is, by the way, that's how the big boy franchises tend to do it. And right now, we're going to act like a big boy franchise when you've had 3 NFC titles in 8 years.
So I want to know from people at 610-632-0975. YouTube, we want you in this as well. And Connor, I want an answer from you. What is your non-X's and O's sports take that you have? And look, I appreciate your opinion.
No, but it was weird though that I said it.
I don't know why it bothers
that
you
I
so
said
much.
it to you guys because I just look at. I want us to act like. I don't want people to act scared. There's nothing I hate worse than the scared sports fan. The scared to be great. Like right now, the Eagles fan that's. Well, I'm nervous about. I don't know if they could do. Like you have sprout a pair.
Sure,
sprout a pair, dudes. Like it's you got to be. You have a great team. We have a great team here. Let's step up and act like it.
All right, I'm going to give you one from a promotional standpoint.
Okay.
And then the in-game stuff. If one team is good and one team is not, rivalries don't exist in my mind. Like Eagles-Cowboys, when the Cowboys are like dead, I don't go, oh, it's Eagles-Cowboys week. I don't care. Like all those years the Sixers were in the tank, I didn't care that the Sixers played the Celtics, right?
But don't you look at the Giants? Aren't you the guy I've heard?
Yeah, I hate that. No, I hate the Giants. But what I'm saying is, like, if the Giants and Eagles are both about to play and they're both 6-2, I go, oh man, rivalry game. But if the Eagles are 6-2 and the Giants are 2-6, I just go, I hate the Giants. I want the Eagles to win.
Okay.
Remember the old adage of I don't care if the Eagles go 2-14 as long as those 2 wins are against the Cowboys.
And that was Buddy Ryan.
I'd rather go 14-2 and lose those 2 games to the Cowboys because my record is 14-2.
I know. You know, I don't have any problem with your take on that.
Yeah, but like Wednesday night rivalry night in the NHL. Like if the Flyers stink, I don't care about Flyers Penguins. I'm not gonna buy tickets to go to a game just because it's a historic rivalry when one team stinks.
People have tried to sell me on the, especially after being gone for a long time. It's Penguins Flyers. Like what?
Right. There's
Flyers
more
have been,
historic
Flyers
rivalries.
Have not, come on. No,
but
no.
Like we have to be honest with ourselves. As much as we despise them, and I would love to see the Mets go 0-162 every year. The only reason why Phillies Mets was such a big deal this year was because the Mets were fighting for the division with you,
and because of last year.
Right.
The revenge of last year.
To me, rivalries are better when both teams are good. I'm not saying I root for the rivals to be good. Like I don't want that to happen, but I don't get up for a game just because of the laundry, as you say, right?
Yeah,
like because it's the Phillies and the Mets. No, if the Phillies and Mets are both fighting for something, let's go. I'm ready for this matchup. If the Eagles and Cowboys are both fighting for something, let's go. I'm up for this matchup. But if the Sixers are 10-50 and they're playing the Celtics, I'm not sitting there going, let's steal one from Boston tonight. Like, no, screw it. I zero interest.
Yeah, I mean, I root for the laundry, and that's what it is. I root for the laundry. So whoever's wearing Phillies and whoever's wearing Cowboys, I'm going to root against.
I got you.
Type of thing.
Connor, what's your non-X's and O's sports take?
Maybe this is because I just got a new couch yesterday, but
okay.
Watching games at home, way better in the year 2025 than going to the stadiums.
I don't think I've ever disagreed with that.
You see, I just
1995, I would be saying that.
There's no way. There's no way being at the NFC title game, being at the NFC playoff game, that not being in that stadium and watching it, to me, sitting on my couch in the Kincade is better.
Well,
viewing experience.
Being in the building. Well, no, viewing experience. Sure, you're getting more.
Look,
but there's nothing like it being in that building.
Look, I was at Bedlam at the bank, right? And
you're telling me this.
Hugging random strangers was a really cool experience.
It's not as good as being on. Is better, but you're saying it's better to be on your couch for that? That's nonsense.
For the majority of the time, it's better to be on your couch.
No,
especially football.
No disclaimers. It's
What do you
either
mean,
is
no
it
disclaimers?
Is it better to be on your couch to watch Bedlam on the bank, or is it better to be in the building to see Bedlam at the bank?
If you're going to pick one of the most special moments of the past 20 years, then it's better to be in the building.
Well, then that's what I'm saying. It is.
All right. I would rather on Sunday, without knowing how the game is going to play out, I would rather be on my couch watching the Eagles on a Sunday
It's a
than at Lincoln
beautiful
Financial
fall
Field.
Sunday, which means that the tailgate's going on, the whole experience
I'd
of
still
going to
rather
the
be
game.
at my house.
I agree.
Wow.
Every
Strongly
angle
agree.
that you get, replays, all that kind of stuff.
There's some ass who's going to stand up in front of you and you miss a play, or you go
Dude,
get a
by
beer
the way,
and you miss a play.
when we were in Tampa,
Oh, my gosh.
we should have started taking tolls. The amount of time, there was this group of 4 people.
And let's just say, they didn't need to be going to the snack bar every single inning.
Okay.
I mean,
that
every single quarter, I should say.
I didn't mean anything by that.
Yeah, but you didn't have. Wait. You weren't sitting next to where I was sitting. Remember my seat? Remember what I was dealing with?
Yeah, he was there for like 5 minutes.
No, he wasn't. He was there for the first half till they moved.
Does that happen on your couch at home?
That's
no,
another
Connor,
point
I
watching
got to
at
tell
home.
you.
I don't care about the size of the
Connor,
person.
what I'm saying, it was into my space. This gentleman was in my space.
Well, that doesn't sound enjoyable.
It wasn't. And
Well,
it
that's
was
what I'm saying.
terrible.
At your house, you're more
No,
comfortable.
but I still want to be there. No, I did not want to be in. I didn't want to be in Landview watching that game. I wanted to be in Tampa. I wanted to be in the stadium.
It was nice and sweaty.
I agree.
And
with
it was
you,
sweaty.
Connor.
Wow,
Thank
you
you,
guys
Andrew.
are.
All right, let's play a couple clips for you. Nick Sirianni spoke about some of his newest players. Here he is talking about Jalen Phillips.
Yeah, explosive player, able to get to the quarterback, violent in the run game, can create a lot of disruption, just a lot of how we like to play that position. And so Vic having familiarity with him is obviously big. It takes away some of that learning curve of getting ready to go. So a lot of things to like about him. We, obviously you do a lot of work on these guys when they're coming out of college, and liked them then, and it's been fun following his career. We were able to practice against him a couple years ago. Really showed some really good things in that. Played against them, in 2023, and so yeah, just a lot to like about him. Really, really, really good player. Getting to know him a little bit. Really like the person. So yeah, excited to add him.
I forgot about the joint practices too with the Miami Dolphins. So they've definitely had some good looks on Jalen Phillips over the years.
You two don't listen to New Heights, do you?
Very rarely. I see the clips.
New Heights. Jason Kelsey had talked about the fact that when they did the joint practices, Kelsey wasn't practicing. Okay, so he wasn't even practicing.
Oh, I saw this clip. Yeah.
And Jalen Phillips got involved in the trash talking him, and he goes, "Yo, eyebrows."
Yeah, he called Jason Kelsey eyebrows.
Yo, eyebrows. You aren't even playing.
Dude, Jalen Phillips is 6'5", 263 pounds. Dude's a beast.
Oh, he's a beast.
And then here is Nick Sirianni talking about Jair Alexander.
We obviously think highly of the player that we have now on the field. That's why we went and got him. Yeah, you go to work, you practice, you see where he is, and you see how you're going to, what it's going to look like on Sunday. So excited to get out there with him today and watch him go. Normally I go to all the, the linebacker drills, or I go to the D tackle drills, or I go to the DN drills, and really kind of mix into the offensive line drills. But today I'll probably be over there a little bit with the DBs, a little bit more with the DNs, and take a look.
Much more ringing endorsement for Jalen Phillips.
Yeah, was he, you think he's sick this week? He doesn't sound right.
Nick?
Nick seems to me that sounds very subdued for him.
He's in the zone.
He's in the zone?
Yeah, it's post-bye week, man. He's got to keep that undefeated record going.
He just seems very subdued to me. I didn't like the energy in those sound bites.
Had a bunch of time off. He's coming off vacation.
Could be. Believe me, he didn't take much. You know that.
He talked about him and Petullo hung out apparently a lot during the.
Yeah, I would have had him.
The boys crushed some beers.
I would have had him in study hall.
It's his best friend.
I would have
Figure out
said
the offense.
I would have said, "Get in the room and study."
All right, coming up next.
Did your parents ever do that to you?
Yeah, all the time.
Well,
but
there
I
you go.
Usually didn't. Andrew DeCecco joins us for the remainder of the show. Questions for DeCecco at 8:10. So start texting them in now. Just text 610-632-0975, question for DeCecco, and then whatever the question is, start sending them in now so Connor can put them to the side, and we'll go through those questions about the Philadelphia Eagles, either this upcoming game against the Packers or just the overall state of the Birds. You'll hear those coming up at 8:10. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Birds get back to work. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Eagles got back to work after their bye week ended. They're beginning to prepare for their matchup with the Packers Monday night up in Lambeau. And Nick Sirianni met with media yesterday because the Eagles have some new faces post-trade deadline. He talked about the familiarity with some of them.
Looking forward to being able to coach those guys. Every one of them has a familiarity with a different guy on our coaching staff, which is always really good. That doesn't always happen that way. Talented guys, each bringing a different thing and bringing depth to our positions.
The Eagles have also, unfortunately, become familiar with the injury report this year. We got our first one of the week. Cam Jurgens did not practice yesterday, raising questions at center for Monday. We'll keep an eye on that. Flyers beat the Predators 3-1 last night. They are now 8-5-1 to start the year. Strong little start for the Flyers. Travis Konecny had a goal and an assist in the game. They're back in action at home tomorrow against the Senators, a 1 p.m. puck drop. Sixers off tonight. They'll host the Raptors tomorrow at 7:30 at the Xfinity Mobile Arena. So 2 home games in South Philadelphia tomorrow. Andrew DeCecco joins us coming up next for the latest on the Birds. He'll be with the guys for the remainder of the show. Kevin Nagandi at 9:10. Tony Jones at 9:25. This update's brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. Tullamore Dew, when it's game time, it's Tully time. I'm Connor Thomas on your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
On Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. It is a football Friday, even though the Eagles did not play until Monday. It is also a free agency Friday. Yesterday at 5 o'clock, it opened up in Major League Baseball. No moves of note just yet. We are getting on the record with some of the players we want to see brought in via free agency, traded for, players you'd bring back that were already here with the Phillies, or guys that you are willing and ready to move on from. You can get on the record as well at 610-632-0975. Now, joining us for the remainder of the show, the Eagles play Monday. So instead of the Thursday-Sunday show, it's the Friday-Monday show. Our man, Andrew the Checo, joins us. Andrew, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Great to be with you, as always.
It is great to have you. I have to get you to tap into your inner childhood for a second.
That's going to be hard for him.
I had a great childhood. I'll do my best here.
But going back, you are not a guy who looks back a lot.
I try to look forward, but you know what? In the spirit of the question, wherever you got for me, let's go.
All right, so I need you to think of little Andrew when you were not a journalist yet. Even though you and I have had this conversation, you've talked about it on the air. You've always kind of had that journalistic mind, right? That analyzing mind when it comes to the sport of football, or all sports really, but the sport of football. Earlier today, we played you. Go ahead, Connor. Let's play it again. This was LaFleur. He had his press conference yesterday, and he was asked about the tush push, and this was his response.
Has your opinion on it changed at all from the comments you made at the end?
Yes, I'm not going to get into it. It is what it is. You know, the NFL made a decision, and we have to find a way to try to stop the play, and it's a tough play to stop.
So,
It is what it is.
one of the things that we're talking about today.
I hate that.
I hate that expression.
it's horrible.
Is what it is. Yeah, it doesn't mean anything.
So we're asking the audience, but we're going to go back to your childhood here. Your current sports hates outside the division, right? Cowboys, Commanders, all that kind of stuff. When you were a kid, did you have a team that you had like you just despised, or there was something that you really didn't like about that team?
Yankees.
Okay.
Yankees would be one.
What, did they just win too much?
Yeah, I just didn't like their whole aura, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
It's something
Yankee way.
Yeah, it always rubbed me the wrong
Facial
way.
hair.
When you're going to school with a lot of kids, as I did, went to an elementary school that was a lot of kids that attended that. They're always wearing like Yankees gear and things like that.
Yeah.
Never really quite understood why. It was the popular thing to do, I guess. That would probably be it for me. Celtics is another big one.
Well, I know you're a big Sixers fan, but was there any football team back in the day, and it has nothing to do with the rivalry of whatever team you supported as a kid, when you were a child, was there just a team that you're like, because I wrote down, here's why we're having this conversation. Packers aren't there for me. I look at them as little brother. I don't look at them as a team where I have hatred for. The whining this offseason of the tush push, I laughed at more so than like the Bills with Sean McDermott talking about player safety, and then week one they're running the tush push, right? I wrote down the Rams, the Lions, the Dolphins, the Steelers, and Bills, the 5 teams that I currently hate more than the Green Bay Packers that are not divisional rivals. Was there a team for you when you were growing up?
Steelers.
Okay.
And what was that again?
Just the Steelers were a team that they were relevant around that time, so that certainly helps. But
because you guys weren't alive.
Especially when I went to college at Lock Haven University, that's up there.
That'll do
in
it.
Steelers territory. So the Super Bowl, for example, was the Cardinals and the Steelers, and that was something that I had to hear a lot about. And they were always flaunting the rings and things like that. But that was throughout my whole life, and I just thought that they were. It's a team that I've always respected because they're tough, they're physical, they draft well. But when you're a kid, you hear a lot of the kids and the fans and the families, and they're all really like, they're kind of in your face about it.
The respect factor is key. I dropped the Ron Burgundy line earlier. I hate you, Ron Burgundy, but damn, do I respect you? Like,
right? But they're in your face about it.
I respect the Rams, but I hate them.
They have the Steeler fan base with a lot more pedigree has a lot of Penn State to them.
I would actually
the Penn State fan that you know.
I think you hit the nail on the head there, John.
The Penn State people that you know that will talk to you about all the things that Penn State is, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm living in the present. Like I haven't seen that. Now, when I was a kid, it was much different. You guys haven't even seen it much in your lifetimes, where Penn State's been a power.
Right.
Like I remember when they were, and when they earned all the respect, but they're still talking about it.
By the way, Temple Owls have more wins than the Penn State Nittany Lions, so we all know what the true football team in Pennsylvania is.
Yeah, let's hold on to that as long as we can.
Owls,
yeah, and Temple had to play
baby.
Oklahoma. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
They did play Oklahoma.
We didn't get that Villanova, with all due respect to our buddy Brian Westbrook, who chimes in from time to time. We didn't get to play Villanova this year.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
You guys
so,
better figure out that bowl eligibility before you start talking.
No, the fact that they have a chance to be bowl eligible is blowing my mind.
Penn State doesn't, so how about that?
Yeah, take that, Connor.
All right, so Eagles-Packers, obviously it's not till Monday night, and we got a lot of questions for you over the course of the show, but how are you viewing the Packers at this point? Because they have been one of the more confusing teams in the NFL. John, before the season started, thought very highly of the Packers, and you weren't wrong. It's just their losses to the Browns, the Panthers, a game in which you tied with the Dallas Cowboys, but they're still a team that you look at, you have to respect.
Yeah, well, before I get into that, I just wanted to quickly address the news out of Dallas yesterday with Marshawn Kneeland.
Of course.
That's something that is near and dear with me, mental health. That's not something I take lightly. Yep. So, my deepest condolences to those who were affected and those who are close to them. That's terrible news. But to answer your question, Andrew, I would say you don't really know what to make of the Green Bay Packers because they're a team that's obviously very talented, but they have some losses that make you raise your eyebrows and kind of question whether or not they like their identity, who they are. But the Eagles also lost to the Giants on Thursday Night Football.
Exactly.
So you could look at that and just say it was a blip on the radar. I mean, They have a lot of players that can change a game, like Micah Parsons, like Jordan Love, like their receiving core, which is very deep and young. They're injured right now, but I think it's a team that is kind of enigmatic because you don't quite know how to decipher what they are. But they're also a team that I think can turn it on at any given time. So you don't want to take them lightly, and the Eagles certainly are not. But it's not a team that I view as sort of I guess one of those lackluster teams. I think they are a team that's quality. But if you look across the NFL, there's a lot of teams that have lost games that you kind of raise your eyebrows and wonder how that happens.
Do you buy into the idea that when a team loses a game like they lost to Carolina at home, that this week they got a little extra juice? Or are you more along the lines of, no, it's a game they lost and that's where it is?
I think it's just a game that they lost, and I don't know that you can look back. You have to focus on the here and now, and the Eagles are always going to get every opponent's best, and I would imagine that the Green Bay Packers are, they're going to have a little extra juice for this game regardless because they're coming off a game in which they probably shouldn't have lost, and they're playing, the defending Super Bowl champions in the Philadelphia Eagles, and they can't afford any slip up, and I'm expecting them to play some inspired football. But so will the Eagles. The Eagles are coming in pretty hot. I know there's that extended layoff, but they really took it to the Giants, and there were some things in that game, some tangible things that I believe that they can use as a springboard moving forward.
Now, speaking of the layoff, Cam Jurgens still did not participate in practice yesterday. What's the latest you've been hearing with Jurgens and his status moving forward?
So it wasn't good that we didn't even see Cam. I mean, granted, we were out there for 5 minutes or so yesterday. So the fact that we didn't see him out there, it's not a great sign, especially after that long layoff. But I also think that the way that Brett Toth performed against the Giants maybe gives the Eagles a little bit of a buffer there, where they don't necessarily have to rush him back, and that you have an option there that has performed well, and you saw what having the full complement of snaps with the first team can do, and I think that because of that, you don't necessarily feel the need to rush him back, but it's certainly something to keep an eye on here. If he doesn't practice today, I mean, I think that you could see where that's trending, and I think that's the right thing to do is not rush him back.
Talk about Toth for a second. The idea is that you're a believer that maybe the window of opportunity that he had to actually have time off the field practicing, did it change your opinion in any way about what you think how much they can lean on him?
It didn't change my opinion, and I think I was in the minority.
You weren't negative on it.
No, I think I was in the minority because I've actually had conversations with Brett. I've had many conversations with him, and I understand that he's his own worst critic. And when there's something that Jeff Stoutland sees in him, and just getting to see how intellectual he is and how he views the game and how he approaches the game, how teammates talk about him, there's a lot more that meets the eye that maybe the outside isn't privy to. And so I guess you could say I have a unique perspective going into it, so I wasn't necessarily surprised. Now, he'll be the first one to tell you that he didn't perform to standard against the Vikings. That wasn't, but he also didn't take center reps that week, and he was primarily focusing on guard in the summer. But I think what last week or the couple weeks ago showed you is that when he is able to practice with the first team and hone in on one position, that his ability will take over.
Yep. All right. I'm glad you brought up Marshawn Nealon. Again, it broke yesterday on the air of his passing, but we did not get more information until obviously yesterday. And it's an apparent suicide. I know we're still waiting on more reports, but our hearts go out to him. And again, if you know somebody that struggles with mental health, John, I talk about it pretty often on this show. Reach out to people and just check in on them and make sure everything's okay, because even though it might not be okay, just be there for them, because a day like yesterday, it's a shock through the entire sporting world, and it's a reminder that we should always just keep on checking in on people. So thank you for bringing that up, Andrew. We appreciate it.
That's well said, man.
All right, coming up next, questions for DeCecco, either on the upcoming Eagles game or the state of the team. He runs through those questions coming up next, so text them in now. 610-632-0975 is Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Let me talk about my Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. No today's headlines, because we're about to do questions for DeCecco. Headlines would have been brought to us by who, Connor?
Our friends over at Lundy Law for over 70 years. Lundy Law has been fighting for injured people. If you need them, remember the name Lundy Law. Your injury lawyers. Visit LundyLaw.com. That's LundyLaw.com.
Well, they can sponsor questions for DeCecco today. Hit us with some football music, Connor. John, put your feet up.
It's one of my favorite segments. I know I take notes.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
John takes notes, and you sit there and take a snooze.
No, he doesn't. He's listening. You see, he can take it in.
My eyebrows or whatever, my eyelids, they're painted. Hey, Connor, what do we got for Mr. DeCecco?
All right, our first question here. How can the Eagles be a dog here against Green Bay? Talk me out of betting the house. Green Bay stinks. Jordan Love stinks more.
How can they be a dog?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. The Eagles are pretty healthy for a team this deep into the season. I'm expecting a heavy dose of Saquon Barkley in this game. They're going to get the ground game going once again. And it seems like everything's coming into place with Kevin Patullo, and he's hitting his stride as a play caller. At least he was against the Vikings and now against the Giants. So I believe that bye week is going to be instrumental in getting them rolling.
All right, what else?
No name on this one, but they ask, who do you see making a bigger impact in their first game as an Eagle, Jair Alexander or Jalen Phillips?
Who's dressing?
Right, yeah.
Didn't mean to take your answer.
No, this is his time.
I think it's going to be Jalen Phillips. Now, I mean, there's a lot of urgency here with getting him on the field. They only have 9 regular season games and then whatever in the postseason, and then we'll see from there. But they're going to want to get him involved, and he's going to headline this pass rush group, so I'm going to say Jalen Phillips.
All right, what else we got?
Mike from South Philly checks in, and we got a Willie Lampkin question, folks.
Love it.
Yes. With Willie Lampkin's practice window opened, how quickly can we see him provide much-needed offensive line depth, and can we see him at fullback as well?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves there with fullback.
What, are we doing the Mailata thing all over?
But I actually did speak to Willie Lampkin yesterday. He's doing well, and we'll see if he's able to be activated. That's another player who has his practice window open, so it's going to be interesting here to see whether the Eagles wait another week and maybe get him involved, depending on what happens with Cam Jurgens. But he is somebody that I believe can help, and the Eagles obviously are intrigued with what he can bring as a young player.
Is it Toth until Jurgens comes back, or do you think there's a chance? Because Lampkin's a true center.
Yeah, but look at the game that Toth had against the Giants.
No, I know. I'm saying
why move
not
off
this
of that?
weekend. I'm saying, what if Toth doesn't play great against the Packers?
Right. Maybe. We'll see. I mean, he's a rookie. He hasn't played any snaps in the NFL.
Sure.
So it's important to not get carried away, but I understand the intrigue there. And he's an impressive guy to talk to, highly intelligent, unique size for that position. He's about 5'11", 300 pounds, 290. So he's got a low center of gravity, and I think he plays with a good understanding of leverage.
Hey, some people would say 5'11", average center of gravity for a man. But next up, Brian.
You're not 6 feet, bro?
No, he's not 6 feet.
Do you have 6 feet on your dating apps?
Brian in West
Probably.
Palm Beach has a question about the Eagles. And he says, how much do the Eagles believe that improving the pass rush will help the cornerback situation? And with Brandon Graham and Jalen Phillips, will there be a significant improvement against the run as well?
Okay, 2 questions in there. So let's say I do believe that the pass rush is going to help the secondary. Now, they could have Nolan Smith back as early as Monday. Jalen Phillips is going to be a huge upgrade and add a different dimension to that mix. And then you have Brandon Graham. We'll see what he can do. But I think Brandon Graham, one thing you can count on with him, however many snaps he plays, is that he is going to give a boost in run support. Jalen Phillips, he's every bit of his listed 6'5", 265 pounds. He's a two-way player. He can help in run support and also rush the passer. That's going to help. And it's ultimately going to alleviate some of the pressure from a younger secondary that has Keely Ringo. I believe he's going to probably start Monday night, and a Drew Makuba as well. So it's a move that I think is going to help all 3 levels.
All right, what else we got?
Doug in New Jersey checks in and says, trade deadline gone. Bye week over. Are we done with the A.J. Brown stuff, or is it just something we'll continue to deal with as long as he's an Eagle?
Gosh, I hope we're done with it. I think
there's only one person who can put an end to it. A.J. Brown.
I hope we're done with it. I don't like answering questions about it. It's I think a lot of it is silly and overblown. And A.J., again, yesterday said that he's happy to be here. And I don't know how many different ways he can say that, but hopefully it's put to rest.
Let me ask this question. I know everybody's going to be as careful as possible here. So, Right now, everybody's target recently in Philadelphia has been on Diana Rossini because she's been the one that's sort of been doing the majority of the A.J. Brown discussion. We all agree she's not just making something up, right? Like, we're all in agreement that she has heard something.
No.
But where do you think that would be coming from? Because I can't imagine somebody that's been in the business as long as she has just pulling something out of thin air, right?
No, I think she can be reading tea leaves and thinking she's smarter than the room.
Yeah,
I think she reads his tweets and goes,
well, I'm not
he's
going to
upset.
I personally am not going to speculate on that. It's water under the bridge, and it's about the here and now, and at least that's the lens that I view everything right now as a reporter.
All right, what else we got?
All right, this texter checks in and asks, do you expect the Eagles to continue to do more under center snaps this week in Green Bay?
Yes, I do. It's something that has worked. And even if it doesn't work, you now have that on tape, and teams have to account for that and respect that. So, yes, I am expecting that to continue to be implemented in the offense.
All right. Any more?
Final one from Connor in Fishtown. Do you believe Kyle Schwarber is a must re-sign for the Philadelphia Phillies?
No, I don't.
Ooh. Can you explain?
Well, I mean, he's part of that, the top of the lineup there that hasn't produced in the postseason. So if you look at all the different players who are going to be returning, if you bring him back too, it's going to be almost this running it back aside from maybe a couple of different pieces. So you have to make some tough decisions.
I got to get to the postseason first. And he was the number one offensive reason why you did get to the postseason.
Yeah, regular season stuff's great, but it's about what you do in the postseason.
And he has not been a postseason performer now 2 years
No,
in
he
a row.
has not been.
And I
2
say
years in a
that
row, he's been one of the major reasons they lost.
Right, and I say this as a big Kyle Schwarber fan, but it's about what you do in the postseason. You can post all the accolades in the regular season, that's great, but if you come up empty in the postseason, it doesn't matter all that much.
All right, we're doing a Get on the Record Friday, Free Agent Friday, Major League Baseball. So you would not bring back would you bring back Schwarber? Period.
Well, you'd have to. I mean, I would like to, but then you have to.
Because John said 4 years.
You can't bring everybody back and run it back. So
John
there
said
has
4
to be
years
other.
for Schwarber. Would you do 4 years for Kyle Schwarber?
No.
Well, okay. Real Muto, I said for 2, but I am not. If it gets to 3, I'm not.
Two, I would do, because otherwise, who's catching for you?
Right. You can make a trade just like you traded for Real Muto.
I think an understated aspect of what he brings is that he is very good with the pitching staff. And that's not something you want to just cast aside. So if the money aligns and the years are right, I say you do it.
I said regardless of who it is, I can't see Alec Bohm at third base anymore. I don't care if it's
can't
John.
do it, man.
John Kincade.
So you can't
be my
either.
third base.
Can't do it. You got to move on.
Well, then you're a stupid GM then. The arm's not there.
Well, you're low.
Well, wait a minute. Now
you
these guys
you wouldn't cost much.
These guys,
you have a little West Helms to you, John.
I'd be skipping the throws over there, and that seems to be a strategy now.
All right, coming up next, as our man Andrew DeCecco is with us for the remainder of the show today. What is the weekend rooting guide for the Philadelphia Eagles? What do we need to see to get less debris on the path to the 1 seed for the Philadelphia Eagles? It is Kincade Salciunas on this Football Friday, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
A nice night for TK. Yeah, we're talking hockey, folks. The Flyers took down the Predators 3-1 as they improved to an 8-5-1 record on the year last night. Travis Konechny, a goal and an assist in the game. So the Flyers have a nice little start to their season roll, and they'll be back in action at home against the Senators tomorrow, a 1 p.m. puck drop. The Eagles got back to work yesterday as they prepare for their Monday night matchup with the Green Bay Packers. Jalen Hurts met with the media yesterday and talked about what he was focusing on over the bye week.
It's good to be back. Just from a macro perspective, you always take a step back and try and assess where you are, assessing where we are as a team, and assessing where we are as an offense, and assessing where I am in my play and how I can be better, and then how we can all improve.
Hopefully we'll see Monday night. The Eagles continue to improve as they did heading into the bye week. We also got the first injury report of the week. Cam Jurgens did not practice, raising questions at center for Monday, so we'll keep an eye on that. Sixers, they're off tonight. They'll host the Raptors tomorrow at 7:30 at the Xfinity Mobile Arena, so South Philly doubleheader. Andrew DeCecco remains with the guys for the remainder of the show. We'll talk to Kevin Negandhi of ESPN at 9:10, Tony Jones of The Athletic for the latest on the Sixers at 9:25. This update is brought to you by Fox One. Fox One's your home to stream live sports from NFL on Fox, the Big Noon Saturdays, NASCAR, and more. This week, don't miss the Nittany Lions take on Indiana. Download the Fox One app to stream. Fox One, live sports streaming now. I'm Connor Thomas on your own.
Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic. Scanning through the YouTube chat, I don't even know how the conversation started.
Teddy Ruxpin?
No, that was earlier.
By the way, I have like 5-6 emails about Teddy Ruxpin. I appreciate everybody who got me.
Oh, they're talking about millionaires and billionaires who argue over like dollar bills. But there's love being shown for the Aldis and like the Lidls of the world. I was just talking to you about them this morning. So John brought in the goldfish, the Frank's red hot flavored goldfish.
That exists?
Have you ever had them?
No.
Bro.
No, they were at the golf course
They're
yesterday.
freaking delicious.
Shout out to our friends at Glen Mills Golf. Really good dudes out there. They had the Frank's red hot goldfish.
So John brings them in, goes, here, try this. I go, I have. Because my mom.
He had already tried them. I've never seen them.
My mom shops at the Lidls and the Aldis and has my entire life. And, like, there was a summer a couple of years ago, I'm visiting them down the shore, and I go, what are these? And they actually got a kick to them.
I was going to say, they have a nice kick.
No, yeah, it's not just the flavor. Like,
I'm still feeling it.
Then I'll like it because, you know, I'm a type of person that I'll eat hot
you're
peppers. Like, I'll eat hot peppers by themselves.
Because I think those are if you're putting overrated snacks of all time, these goldfish is one of them. The standard goldfish.
I've had this take.
Regular goldfish.
I think Swedish fish is
There are certain brands where the OG flavor is not the actual best. So to your point, I like the flavored goldfish more than just the regular goldfish.
I think the pretzel
I like
ones
the
were
orange
better.
flavored Swedish fish more than the OG Swedish fish. I like the white cheddar Cheez-It more than the actual Cheez-It.
Oh, Cheez-It to
I
me
like
is
the
perfect.
white mint chocolate chip over the green one.
Damn right.
No, green is mint chocolate chip. I've been told that there's a actual science to this. Is that the green is mint chocolate chip, and the white is chocolate mint.
Oh,
that is what Frankie Two Scoops would tell you.
How about that? And he's a legend
he's
in
an ice cream
Philadelphia.
expert.
That damn right he is. In case people don't know, he's the guy that gives the ice cream in the media section for the
he's
for the
very
Phillies.
generous.
All right, so Eagles rooting guide. Eagles are the 1 seed in the NFC as of right now. Last week, Andrew, or was it earlier this week? It was earlier this week. Was the first time I checked the NFL playoff picture. First time.
First time he looked at it, and I have my, of course, color-coded zoned.
It's amazing. I looked at the Eastern Conference standings when the Sixers were 4-0. I had yet to look at the playoff picture.
Yet to look at the NFL
until this week. And so the Eagles are at number 1, 6-2 record. Bucks are in the 2 seed, 6-2 record. Seahawks 3 seed, 6-2 record. The Packers, you play Monday night, 5-2-1. They're the leaders of the NFC North, 4th seed. Then you have the Rams, Niners, and Lions in the wild card.
That are above the line, as I call it.
So let's look at the NFL or the Eagles rooting guide, because we have another Sunday where we are not watching the Eagles. We get to sit back and watch the rest of the league.
There's one big one. And I want to see if Andrew DeCecco, the football guy, actually agrees with it. I want the 49ers beating the Rams.
Yeah, you should.
Because I want the Rams to get a third loss.
You should.
Right.
The Rams are a good team. I
They're
really
more
like
of a
this.
threat.
I really like the Seahawks. I really like the Seahawks.
So you think they're a dangerous team?
I do. I think they're for real. For one, I'm a big Sam Darnold believer. It's no mistake when you're playing well in two different offenses. He's one of the. You have to face the reality that he's one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. But that defense, they flow to the football. They are, they're really athletic at all three levels. And yeah, I think they're starting to hit their stride a little bit. They have a good running back in Kenneth Walker. Yeah. They're pretty balanced.
And Charbonnet's been a nice,
Charbonnet's a good
running back
compliment. They have a 1-2 punch.
Now
They got Josh Jobe starting at corner for them.
They got the Cardinals coming in. I do believe that's going to be a game.
And it's the Jacoby Brissett-led Cardinals.
Yeah, I
again.
think that's going to be a game because I think the Cardinals are going to just also try to keep the ball out of their hands.
Oh, and by the way, Rashid Shaheed was a great addition for their receiving corps.
Oh my God, yeah, it was one of the better trades because you only get what? It was a 4th and a 5th that they gave up to get him,
and he could stretch teams vertically, and he's an underrated player. By the way, he went to Weber State. You know who he played with at Weber State?
Who?
Sua Opeta.
Ah, how about
there you go.
By the way, Shaheed helps Jackson Smith-Njigba, who's been like the best wide receiver with no help this year, which is amazing. So, Patriots, we are all Patriots fans this week.
Yes.
They are taking on the Buccaneers in Tampa, 1 o'clock kickoff. So
that would be a great win.
In the 1 o'clock slate, that's like the biggest one where you're going, hand the Buccaneers a loss. I understand that the Vikings are still in the playoff picture, as are the Panthers and the Bears. But the Buccaneers are the team where you're going, all right, 1 seed, that's one of the teams that we are focusing on. Let's go Patriots. Right?
That's the
and that's
one
doable because Drake May's playing some really good football right now.
Yeah.
The way that we saw Jalen Hurts throw it around the field on them, that's what we need Drake May to do on Sunday. That would be a huge win. That'd be a huge loss for the Bucs, and it'd be great for the Eagles.
Yeah, and I think if you're an Eagles fan, you want to see the Bucs start to take some losses while they can because Mike Evans will be returning. At some point here from that collarbone injury, and then
they're going to be nasty.
Yeah, they're going to be nasty.
Let me ask you, Vikings. So the Vikings, if you remember, were a team that there were people that were picking that could maybe win the division or get into the playoffs. They're 4-4. Obviously, they've had the wild quarterback season that they've had. McCarthy goes down after week 2. Then Carson Wentz plays with just an arm that's mush, and Kevin O'Connell just keeps throwing him out there. McCarthy comes back. They win their first game. They beat the Lions in Detroit, which is a very impressive win. Do you have any concern about the Vikings?
I do not.
Okay.
I do not because I'm not a believer in the quarterback.
Neither am I.
And that's where it all starts.
Now, what do you mean, 9?
Yeah, 9. His alter ego.
You didn't hear about his alter ego? It's mind-bogglingly.
It sounds like I'm glad that I didn't hear about it.
He has an alter ego of 9.
He's reached cornball alert.
I did see the video that was put out.
When he's like nodding his head.
It just seemed really performative to me.
Yes,
I
agree with you.
Come on, man. Be authentic. Be yourself.
We read the quotes yesterday.
He's very performative.
He's reached cornball alert. And then in the 4 o'clock slate, you have the Cardinals and Seahawks. So we're all rooting Cardinals.
We absolutely want a Cardinals win.
Because you don't want the Seahawks to continue to fight for that one seed.
I said you don't want to go to Seattle in the playoffs.
It's loud. That is a raucous crowd. They're impassioned, and they're a good football team.
Yeah.
I really think that they're starting to get better each week.
If only they had a quarterback.
The Seahawks do have a quarterback.
Is there any chance that Marcus Mariota can lead the Commanders to victory against the Lions?
No.
No.
I mean, come
After
on.
the Lions lost at home.
Yeah, there's not a lot.
Against the team, by the way, this week that knocked them out of the playoffs.
Nah,
that is a stone-cold lock win that the Lions beat the Commanders.
And again, it's one of those things where I have it where, in my mind, if you get to 6 losses before Thanksgiving, so the Sunday before Thanksgiving, Monday before Thanksgiving, if you're at 6 losses, you are, in my mind, out of the playoff picture.
Yeah,
You're
that's
done.
fair.
And the Commodes right now already have 5.
Yeah.
They're just about to go on. They already have 6, excuse me. They're going to be on death sentence.
And just to confirm, 2-4 when Jaden Daniels was the starting quarterback?
2-4.
All right, just making
sure.
sure.
Yeah, just so Bill Colarulo doesn't pull that out that, well, their quarterback got injured. They were 2-4 with him.
Oh, you guys are still doing that? You're still patting yourselves on the back?
Oh, wait a minute now. The Commanders stink. Whoa.
You come in here in our home.
The amount of crap I took telling everybody that the Commanders were not going to be, that last year was a horseshoe up the backside thing. I'm going to absolutely take a slight
I know
victory.
you were pretty strong on that, but I don't like seeing teammates catching strays.
No, we're the one catching strays.
We caught strays all day.
We're the one catching strays.
By the way,
I said teammates.
Oh, there you go.
Andrew Ellis checks in pizza goldfish better than the regular goldfish.
A little too. There's something in the pizza goldfish I did not like. The
oregano.
Yeah, I don't like.
Is it the regular?
I like the pizza goldfish.
I love the pizza.
I'd mess with the pizza goldfish.
More for us, Andy.
How about the pizza? This is from John Strayer. The pizza pretzel combo better than the OG combo.
What do you mean?
Remember the combo pretzels?
Sir.
Oh, I hated combo.
Oh,
yeah, but the pizza,
I hate
pizza
combos.
one.
Nasty.
The pizza ones are fantastic.
They're nasty.
There are foods that got better. Usually, like the Oreo. Don't mess with the Oreo.
Combos never got better. They were invented before you guys were born. Connor and Anthony.
The pizza combo is delicious.
The cheese has never been. They've never gotten the cheese right in a combo.
They've never gotten it wrong.
It's terrible.
I love a combo.
It's terrible. Yeah, I want these Frank's Red Hot goldfish.
Yeah, I'm going to find some for you.
That's the only thing that I'm focused on right now.
I have to go back and play again.
I don't agree with this opinion, but I know a lot of people do the Cool Ranch Dorito better than the regular Dorito.
No,
I like Cool Ranch Doritos.
I go
better.
OG Dorito. Every
and
time.
the thing is, I do believe Doritos have a secret ingredient that's bad because it's one of the only.
Is it called crack?
No, it's one of the only snacks. Like I would take salty over sweet any day.
I've got a red-blue take.
Yeah.
The average red Dorito, the nacho cheese, is better than the average Cool Ranch, but the best Cool Ranch is better than the best nacho.
I don't understand what you mean.
Yeah, you're gonna
I'm
have to-
lost.
yeah,
Higher
bro.
ceiling for the Cool Ranch.
Bro, you're like
Better.
Pepe Sylvia right now from
Like I
Always
said,
Sunny. Like,
people
I'm
know
so
what I'm talking
confused
about.
by
Higher
Wednesdays.
ceiling for the blue.
You're Kaiser Sose right now,
Yes,
man.
the
Let's
ti-
relax.
the
Cool
time
Ranch
to-
is better, and let's move forward.
It's time to be. I just think there's something in the regular Doritos that makes me want to eat more of them.
Hell yeah, man.
There's something to
Crack.
No, but I mean, I love Hershey chips, or I love, and I could absolutely get away with having a little small bag or whatever. Doritos could open up.
Give me those Doritos, baby.
Looks
All
like
right.
we have like Doritos, crumbs all over
I
this
like
place
hint
sometimes.
of lime.
Doritos Locos Tacos.
I like hint of
I'm all for
lime
it.
chips.
All right, coming up next, the A.J. Brown drama is done for now. He spoke to the media yesterday. We will play the audio for you and react. Also, I have a message for A.J. Brown that I think everyone can get behind. It's Kincade and Salciunas. Andrew DeCecco with us for the remainder of the show here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Friday, Connor. Brought to us by Norristown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. Driving to great deals at the fall sales event at Norristown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, and get wicked good deals all month long on a Chrysler Dodge Jeep or Ram. Visit NorristownChryslerDodge.com.
I'm so glad to hear about it.
We'll get back to our text line here momentarily because we've gone away from it a little bit, except for questions for DeCecco. Our two topics. What are the teams you hate right now outside the division? Your sports hates right now. I don't feel it with the Green Bay Packers. You will hear from Coach LaFleur here momentarily, who refused to answer a question about the tush push after yapping all off season about how he does not like the tush push. But the Packers are a little brother to me. I don't have vitriol toward them. John Kincade does. And get on the record, free agency Friday for Major League Baseball for the Phillies, what you want to see. Not what you think, but what you want to see logically, of course. Like, don't say, oh, Aaron Judge. Logically, of course.
Logically.
What you want to see, what you think the Phillies can do, 610-632-0975. But A.J. Brown spoke outside of his locker, as did many other players yesterday. We played you the audio from Jalen Phillips, who is living his best life right now. Jair Alexander, who's excited to be here. Jalen Hurts obviously spoke to the media yesterday. Nick Sirianni spoke to the media yesterday. But A.J. Brown was outside of his locker. And, of course, now that the trade deadline is over, we can finally start looking ahead. But this was sort of the last day of questioning about what just went down. This was A.J. Brown in his exchange with members of the media.
So what have these last 2 weeks been like for you? I feel like there's been a lot going on between the injury, some trade speculation, or at least talk about it. Just what's it been like for you the past 2 weeks?
Out in the front and out in the back of my yard, playing football with my son. That's it.
Did you ever feel like there was a chance you would be traded?
I don't know. I think, it's the nature of the business. Like I said, my focus was be present with my family, my kids, and get healthy.
Speaking of getting healthy, how are you feeling? Do you think you're trending the right direction for Monday?
I'm playing. I'm good to go.
Is this a place you want to be?
Has I said anything to not be here?
All right. So here's the deal.
So annoying.
Well, he has said it outside of his locker earlier in the year that he wants to be in Philadelphia. I don't know where all these nuggets are coming from. Obviously, the drama, a lot of it is self-created from what he does on social media. But here's my message for A.J. Brown that I don't think anybody can disagree with. You're here. You are a member of the Philadelphia Eagles. If there was any bit of him that did want to get traded, and even though he has made it abundantly clear that he wants to be in Philadelphia, but if there's any bit of him in the back of his mind that wanted to get traded, or if he thought he was going to get traded, because he did say, I don't know. Like, he had no idea, nature of the business, all that kind of stuff. You're here, and if you do want out, you have every right to want out after this season ends. We talk about A.J. Brown and how he wants to have a legacy, right? You have 9 more games this season, and hopefully only 3 in the playoffs, because hopefully you have the first round bye. If not, you have 4 in the playoffs. So you have hopefully 12 to 13 more games as a member of the Philadelphia Eagles. If you are true by your word that you want to be here, can't wait to see you next season in the Philadelphia Eagles uniform, because I think the Eagles go as far as A.J. Brown's here, because A.J. Brown is that talented of a player. But all I need to know moving forward is just play your best brand of football every way the rest of the season.
Disagree with your premise.
Why?
Because he has not made it abundantly clear that he wants to be here. Because his actions don't show that. His cryptic tweets, his continually stirring the pot of negativity around his team does not make it abundantly clear that you want to be here. He is not.
Well, I'm going to go by his word.
No. You can say one. You could all week long. You could come in here and go, man, I hate doing this show. I hate coming to work. Hate everything. And you're doing it all week long. You're doing it. And then, or you're putting out on social media little cryptic tweets. And then Scott says to you, Andrew, you okay? Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Did I ever say I didn't want to do this show? I didn't say it. When you're stirring the pot constantly with your behavior, and it's passive-aggressive, his stuff is passive-aggressive, then to me, don't say, did I ever say that? Well, go read my tweets. No, enough of the crap.
Okay.
Enough of the crap. This has to stop.
But he's here. There's no...
No, I don't want him gone. I don't want him gone.
He can't go anywhere from now until March, right? Can't.
He's going to Green Bay.
John, I think you might be misinterpreting being frustrated in the moment than in totality.
Okay. And that could be, explain more of that.
Well, I mean, sometimes, we've all been there where sometimes you don't process in the emotion of the moment. You don't think of it, and you just put something out there.
Okay, this is your job. You got frustrated with today with Andrew and I on the show, and you didn't like your appearance, and you thought that it was crappy.
He always hates.
Would you then go to your social media and share it and with passive aggressive text about it?
Of course not, but everybody's different. You can't look at everybody through the same
But you
lens.
have to say
Everybody
stop.
handles things differently. Everybody processes things differently, and I think you may be misinterpreting frustration in the moment where you don't think and you just put something out there. And you don't think about down the line what the questions that are going to come with that. That's just my
now.
thoughts.
Now it is fair to say that it is counterproductive.
And say stop doing it.
Right.
It is counterproductive. And there are you saw it with Jalen and with Devontae and their comments about when they were asked about the latest A.J. Brown. I'm not interpreting what another grown man writes. I have no interest in talking about it.
Nor should they.
And they have to. Why should they have to even deal with it? At some point, you just say, AJ, stop it. It's professionalism. It's work.
I think we have to focus on the here and now. What he said yesterday, he couldn't have been any clearer. And this stuff is never going to go away if it keeps getting brought up over and repeatedly. It's not going to go away. It needs to go away, and it should go away. I don't know how many different ways that AJ can say that he's happy being here in Philadelphia.
How about stop tweeting?
When's the last time that he did that?
No, but I mean,
you're living
2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, two and a half weeks ago.
3 weeks ago.
Okay, it's still, don't do it. Or, better yet, just say it. I have zero interest in ever leaving. I hope to retire an Eagle. I get frustrated from time to time. You're misinterpreting what I'm saying. Speak like you did, and just say, don't put too much stock into what I say. I want to be an Eagle for life.
Right.
Then it all stops.
But that's what you want him to say. In my estimation, and probably in most estimation, I thought what he said was sufficient. He doesn't need to say anything else
until the next time he stirs
but
the pot.
But you're assuming that there's going to be another
because there's been 4 or 5 in the past 2.5 years. So yes, I am assuming that there's going to be another
4 or 5 in the last 2.5. But you're assuming that there's going to be something else. I think that's a dangerous game to play.
What
I mean, there's been a pattern of behavior that leads me to believe he doesn't know how to stop.
What I hope is that my message is accurate. You're here now. There's nowhere to go for 9 weeks and the playoffs. Let's lock in. Let's play football. Let's try to win. And if he is frustrated at the end of the season, he has every right to try to be traded, right? But until then, let's just play football. He's the number 1 wide receiver on this team. And I just need that to be locked in, period.
I hear you. And by the way, for those who didn't get a chance to read it, my buddy Brooks Cabina from The Athletic wrote a fantastic piece on A.J. Brown during the bye week, and everyone should check it out. It's a deep dive into kind of what makes him tick and A.J. Brown the person.
All right, coming up next, I just saw something that will be ending after 200 years. I just saw it pop up on my timeline. Also, what is Andrew DiCecco's biggest question for the second half of the season? I saw an article this morning that I want to just tell you what their answer was, and then we'll get to DiCecco's next. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Look at you.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
I'm Connor Thomas, and the Eagles are gearing up for Green Bay. The Flyers took down the Predators yesterday. We'll get to them in a second, but the Eagles got back to work yesterday as they prepare for their Monday night matchup with the Packers, and they've got some new faces, too. Nick Sirianni talked about some of the guys they acquired ahead of the trade deadline.
Looking forward to being able to coach those guys. Every one of them has a familiarity with a different guy on our coaching staff, which is always really good. That doesn't always happen that way. Talented guys, each bringing a different thing and bringing depth to our positions.
We also got the first injury report of the week. Cam Jurgens, again, not practicing. And with that, there are some questions being raised for who's going to start at center for the Monday night matchup with Green Bay. Something we'll keep an eye on as the week continues. Mentioned the Flyers won. They took down the Predators 3-1. They improved to an 8-5-1 record on the year. Travis Konechny had a goal and an assist in the game. They're going to be back in action at home against the Senators tomorrow at 1 p.m. Sixers are off tonight. They'll host the Raptors tomorrow at 7:30 at the Xfinity Mobile Arena. Andrew DiCecco stays with the guys for the remainder of the show. Kevin Nagandi will join us coming up at 9:10. Tony Jones of The Athletic joins us at 9:25. 97.5. This update is brought to you by Groundworks, your trained and certified experts for basement waterproofing and foundation repair since 1997. Book your free inspection at groundworks.com. I'm Connor Thomas on your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Shout out to OZ Bryant 1671 on our YouTube chat. Just found the show on YouTube, so
love that.
welcome. Living in Georgia, how about that?
Where in Georgia?
I don't know.
He's gonna have to respond. Where is he in Georgia?
Respond with where you're at in Georgia.
Is he near Johns Creek?
And welcome to the family. Welcome to the Kincade Salciunas family. The YouTube continues during Middays with Marks as well. All right, so before I get your biggest question for the second half of the season, Andrew, there is something ending. 208-year run. I am shocked that John did not know this. I asked him during the break if he knows what I'm talking about.
I have no idea.
Is it a Phillies contract?
No, Bryce Harper.
No, I have no idea.
200 years from now. The Farmer's Almanac.
It's ending?
I'll tell you what, about time.
After more than 2 centuries in print, the Farmer's Almanac will end its run with its 2026 edition. Known for long-term weather predictions, moon phases, fishing, and gardening guides, and folk wisdom, the publication expressed pride in its 208-year legacy.
And it's ending.
In a statement to ABC News, editor Sandy Duncan said the publication will live on in the way that millions of readers share the bits of wit and wisdom they glean from the almanac. Its spirit and true goal of spreading a way of thinking, one that values simplicity, seasonal wisdom, and the amazing gifts from nature will live on for eternity thanks to our fans and readers.
I think of it like Cracker Barrel. When I think of the Farmer's Almanac, it's sort of like walking into a Cracker Barrel store. It's like something that's, I still want to look at it. I realize it's probably a lot of nonsense, but I love it.
Is the one near us still open?
The one in Downtown?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
it's great.
Now,
Don't tell me it closed. I'll be pissed.
I don't know. It just goes to show you how infrequent
It's
right.
nice.
But then you see it and you go,
And you go, that's
nice
a good place. That's a good place to have a little.
I could play some checkers.
The
Blueberry
decision,
pancakes.
The decision to
haven't been
call
there in like
quits
15 years.
was made due to the increasing financial challenges of producing and distributing the almanac in today's media environment because they actually still do the hard copy. You mean to tell me you can't do an online Farmer's Almanac?
I have. No, well, the crazy thing is, I do believe I subscribe to something that's sort of like an online Farmer's
So you
Almanac.
can't just do it.
That's weird.
It's not in the spirit of the game.
But you're not. Remember the sales compared to putting it on, putting in a digital format. You're not going to get the same sales you get on something that's more hard copy.
Fuzzy 007 checks in. I'm with you, Connor. It's about damn time.
Yeah, listen. I stopped by one of my biggest haters' funerals.
That's a 208-year run. That's just over.
I got the Weather Channel app. Farmer's Almanac.
Poor. I feel bad for the almanac. All right.
And Andrew keeps old places that he's been on his weather app.
Yeah. I still have all my, like, St. Lucia, where I went to my honeymoon. That was 6 years ago. I still have it on there.
I guess you'll pour one out for Farmer's Almanac.
I will. You know, I feel bad for the Farmer's Almanac. Don't you worry, farmers out there.
No. They're the reason it's getting dark at 4 p.m. right now.
All right, what
What
would you rather check out, Connor? Farmer's Almanac or FarmersOnly.com?
FarmersOnly.com.
Well, Farmers Only.
City folks just don't get it.
It's unbelievable. I remember the first time I saw that, and I was living in the South. So I was living around there was people like, within 10, 15 miles were actual farmers. And I thought it wasn't real. I thought it was like a Saturday Night Live.
Oh, it was real, baby. You're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. All right, Mr. DeCecco, I want to get your answer on this, but Ralph Vacchiano, a guy that I respect, does a great job covering all of the NFL for Fox Sports. He used to do the Giants. Now he's like the senior NFL writer for Fox. And he did for every single team in the NFL, what is the biggest question in the second half? So this was not just an Eagles article. It was every single team in football. But I want to read to you what he wrote about the Eagles, and I'm curious to get your input on this. Is Saquon Barkley still the engine of the offense? Up until his 150-yard explosion against the Giants 2 weeks ago, his season had been forgettable. It's not just that it paled in comparison to his 2,000-yard brilliance last year either. He topped 60 yards just once in the first 7 games. He was on pace for less than 900 yards for the year. Yes, the Eagles are 6-2, but Barkley and the run game are what make them go. That's what led them on their Super Bowl quest last season. While they survived without it this year, the Eagles are 3-2 when they haven't rushed for at least 100 yards. It's doubtful they'll repeat as champs if Barkley doesn't rediscover his form. First, I want your response on that, and then if you do have a different question that you'll be following along for the second half of the season, I want to hear that as well.
Yes, Saquon Barkley is still the engine that fuels this Eagles offense. He's the same guy. I know there was a lot of conversation going into the season about the attrition of carrying the ball, touching the ball 482 times, postseason included, could affect him, but he's the same guy. The Eagles' offensive line has struggled with health. Mm-hmm. They had a healthy center in there, and Brett Toth against the Giants, and you see how the different pieces are able to kind of help unlock this running game that hasn't performed to standard this year. But that's what they want to be foundationally. They're going to continue to lean on Saquon Barkley, and I think the bye week served someone like a Landon Dickerson really well. By the way, Landon Dickerson had his best game against the Giants. I thought he was exceptional, and I think that's going to help them sort of unlock this thing moving forward. And I think now that they have a two-headed rushing attack with Tank Bigsby, that 1-2 punch, it's going to help them even more because he has a different running style than Saquon Barkley, and they are going to be a run-first team, continuing that trend moving forward.
What would your question be, second half, that you're going to be paying attention to the rest of the season?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. I'm actually working on a piece for InsideTheBirds.com where I'm talking about my 4 or 5 storylines that I'll be keeping an eye on. Sure. And there's a couple. I don't want to pin it down to just one. The running game. Is that a byproduct of playing the Giants, or is this something that they've sort of figured out and you're going to see that continue to prevail here? That's something I'll be keeping an eye on. The Nakobe Dean, Jahad Campbell situation. Yeah. How are they going to allocate the snaps and get both players involved? And you have to find a way to keep Jahad Campbell involved because there's a team like the Packers who will spread teams out. That seems like the quintessential Jahad Campbell type of game. Nakobe Dean brings a physical element, and the defense has undeniably more juice when he's in there. He brings an attitude, a toughness, and a swagger. I'm curious to see how Vic Fangio chooses to sort of dole out the snaps there. The pass rush, have they rectified that with the addition of Jalen Phillips, the Nolan Smith returning, Brandon Graham? Is that going to help the secondary? And that cornerback 2 carousel is another storyline that I wrote about because they toggled between Adoree Jackson, Keely Ringo. Jacorian Bennett is sort of the mystery box. You don't quite know what you have. He's played 24 snaps this season defensively. He hasn't been activated yet, but he's a player that I'm wondering if they're going to give a longer look to. And then Jair Alexander, of course, being added in the trade deadline. I want to see if they land on a solid option, a solid answer, a solution opposite Quinyon Mitchell.
Crystal ball. Sorry, John. Sorry. Crystal ball. The wild card round, divisional round, wherever the Eagles play their first playoff game.
They're going to play it at home. They're going to win their division, so they're going to be at home.
All right, so they'll be at home.
No matter what happens.
But whenever they play that first game, who is the second corner on the opposite of Quinyon Mitchell?
By that point, I'm inclined to say Jair Alexander. But in the immediate future, I think they're going to go back to Keely Ringo. He's been in the system. I think it's going to take a little bit of time for Alexander to get up to speed here. He did say that he's been meeting with Christian Parker, the Eagles defensive backs coach, like 5 times a day since he's been here. So maybe that amplifies his progress. But I think that will be Jair Alexander once he gets fully acclimated.
And Christian Parker, you have been a huge fan of for a while. Oh, yeah. And you've written about him before.
Yes, he's a rising star.
Probably last time we get to see him this year, right? Wouldn't you believe next hiring cycle?
Yeah, he's such a bright mind, John. I think he's going to be a defensive coordinator as early as next season. He's a rising star, really good at teaching the fundamentals. And look at his track record of success wherever he's gone, and whether it's Denver, whether it's Green Bay when he was the quality control coach, or even here in Philadelphia. Across the board, his unit has made notable strides.
Dude, that's just great insight, as always, from
and
Mr.
it's very
DeCecco.
And all no notes, by the way.
By the way, OZ Bryant, our new viewer on YouTube, Lawrenceville.
Yes,
Georgia.
Lawrenceville. He lives.
Works in Johns Creek.
Yeah, Johns Creek is where I lived.
So excited to have you guys. We're excited to have you.
That's good. We're glad to have you too, and I'm glad you finally found us.
Yeah, damn
That's
right.
great. So,
what do we got on the text line, Connor?
All right, we have someone checking in on Sports 8, and I think we can all appreciate this for various reasons. A first-time texter, which is why we're going to it. But
Thank
they
you.
say
We got a first-time YouTuber, first-time texter, big day.
You can find the show anytime, anywhere. On the topic of disliking a sports team, my grandfather, dad, and I are Vikings fans, but growing up, my dad had one rule. We could like any NFL team as long as it wasn't Dallas. I still will always hold that hate for the Cowboys.
Well, of course, yeah. My question was more so. My question was more so outside of the division.
He's a Vikings fan. He just happens to be listening.
he just happens to be listening, which is good.
Hope you're listening.
No, I'm sorry. That was just. Now I'm just kind of caught off guard. So my bad. First time text.
Hey, it doesn't have to all be 4 for 4 here. We welcome all.
No, it doesn't have to be. I guess.
No, it's fine. The bigger the tent.
Hell yeah, man. I love the tent.
The bigger the tent.
Crazier the circus.
Well, I'm just glad the guy in Lawrenceville is getting to have some good quality sports talk about a football team.
Hell yeah, man.
Because right now in NFL, Falcons talk would kill him.
What else you got?
This text is for you guys, but also for our friend Haley back there.
Hi, Hale.
Because we know where she's going on Monday, up there to Green Bay.
Yes.
Luke
luck
from
with the
Langhorne
flights.
checks in and says, heading to Green Bay right now. Does anyone have any recommendations for what to do?
Never been.
John, have you ever been?
I can't remember.
I would do the stadium tour. Like, you have to.
No.
Yeah.
I've done the stadium tour, but I've done the stadium tour as a member of the media. We got taken in. I didn't do the one in that the public goes through because we were there I saw Mike Vick's Blizzard game.
Wow.
With the Falcons in a wild card game. So it's spectacular. It's like going to Green Bay's wild. I told her Haley's dad is from Havertown. And I said, Havertown, Broomall, cities like that would remind you of Green Bay as far as the housing. The housing's probably built around the same time, the housing style, Cape Cods and everything like that. And then all of a sudden, imagine you're just driving, in a neighborhood, and out of nowhere comes this giant stadium. It's wild. It is so much fun, and the people are so welcoming.
I would go to local breweries. I mean, you're in Wisconsin, so, the beer's going to be
I'll
good
tell you
up
this.
How about Milwaukee? It's 2 hours away from there.
Yeah, if you want to make that trip.
How about
Or,
the-
if you stay in
Get a little
Milwaukee.
How
Milwaukee's
about
best.
I would say to you now, would be my suggestion. We also had tour guide like we were traveling with a team, but the local tap rooms.
Oh, yeah.
Go into the local tap rooms where they had brats and they had brat specials.
I would get a brat every day.
I would do that much more than I would go to like a tour of something. You're in the area. There's all these local dive bars that are great.
I would do the stadium tour, but then everything else I do,
And
I hear you.
embrace the local culture. That's my best advice.
And maybe do some coat shopping because it's a high of 38 on Monday.
Yeah.
And it's going to get down to
Haley's
25.
going to be cold.
Pack your coats now because I don't want any of you going, oh, no, I'm cold. I have to buy a Green Bay Packers jacket. Nah, man. It's got to be all Eagles. All right, coming up next, our man Kevin Nagandi joins us here on Kincade Salciunas 97.5 The Fanatic.
Let me tell you.
the interview any way I want with our next guest, Kevin Nagandi, as long as it's about Philadelphia sports, because he is Mr. Philadelphia. And, I was going to do something with the Eagles, Johnny, or I was going to do something with the Phillies beforehand, because we're also getting on the record free agency Friday here on Kincade and Salciunas.
I want his answers.
But join us now on the Comcast Business Hotline. Everyday business, a big day like Comcast Business, help you move forward with what's next. Kevin Nagandi, right before I went to you, I saw a video of hip-hop. He is going to be walking around the city of Philadelphia today because tomorrow night, I forgot all about it, is the first game bringing back the old black jerseys. So, Kevin, where does hip-hop rank for you and these Sixers jerseys in your many years of being a Philadelphia sports fan?
Wow, that's a good question. I don't know, man. I laugh at hip-hop. I also think that at the time where the Sixers were, and if anybody can recall what it was like in the late 90s, this was before the Phillies had their magical core run of, Jimmy, Chase, and Ryan. And the Eagles are trying to figure things out. Remember, they hit rock bottom, and they had to bring in Andy Reid, and then you had McNabb. Like right around that time, the Flyers are super competitive, but right around that time, there was nothing. And there was buzz because every single night Allen Iverson gave you hope. Pat Croce basically saved that franchise. Remember when he purchased it and they needed to kind of get some juice back? And I think that to me signifies that, hey, they needed a full reset and they needed a new mascot, even though I loved Big Shot? Big Shot was my guy. I loved
really?
Big Shot.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Oh, my God. I love the Big Shot, but you got to talk. You're talking to a guy that, my favorite team of all time was the 1983 Sixers,
right?
And Big Shot played a huge role there, and I was 8 years old, right? So I thought
What position did he play
back then?
What position did he play? He played a big role.
What's that?
I said, what position did he play? Played a big role, Big Shot.
Big Shot?
listen
No,
to
he played a
him.
role in as a kid growing up. Like, you asked me what the role of the Fanatic plays?
That's true. That's true.
We know the Fanatic's there to make you laugh and have a good time, right? So back then, listen, hip hop is great because I think it was perfect for the time. The uniforms were perfect for the time. I was never a fan of the uniforms, just because I grew up on what Dr. J wore. I loved the red Sixers uniforms. I loved when they went all white. So, but I adjusted because I knew. I was like, this makes sense. It's Allen Iverson. I hated when they went to that blue, design. I was like, this is stupid. What are we doing? But it was part of that whole thing. We're changing the entire look of this program and this organization. So I embraced it because they were winning games.
Kev, where are you on Andrew is about to get chesty. And he even declared it this morning. He is like, what chest day for Andrew is total confidence. He's total confident for Monday night going into Green Bay. I think he's certifiably insane.
Well, yeah, we already know that.
I think this spot is a really, really treacherous spot. Where are you on Monday night's game as far as your general feeling on it right now?
My feeling actually is pretty good because they come off the bye. They obviously rested up. They face a Packers team that lost Tucker Kraft, who's the heart and soul of that offense. That offense has not been very good of late. And honestly, Tucker Kraft was the highlight of the offense, especially for Jordan Love. And they're familiar with Micah Parsons. They face him every single year, twice a year, understanding what the game plan is. And look at what Rico Dowdle did. And I understand the Packers are going to be fully aware of, we just let Rico Dowdle and the Panthers do whatever they want on the ground against us. So they're going to have, some attention to detail with Saquon in the backfield. But I think the Eagles can exploit that. It helps the defense that you don't have to worry about Tucker Kraft going across the middle to help Jordan Love. To me, this game will come down to the Eagles' pass rush and applying any pressure on Jordan Love. If you can, you win the game.
Yeah, Kevin, I was thinking of bringing a bench into work on Monday and just doing my chest exercises during the show. All right, I want to introduce you to our man, Andrew DeCecco, our Eagles insider here at 97.5 The Fanatic. He's in studio with us. right now. I know he's got a question for you, and then I have something that I want to ask both of you. Go ahead, Andrew.
Hey, Kevin. So keeping with the Eagles, coming out of the bye week, which storyline will you be following most closely Monday night?
The pass rush. Where's BG? Where's Nolan Smith? Where's, Jalen Phillips? And how the addition of these guys, and I understand it takes some time, especially when you're trying to incorporate guys into a defense and Fangio's defense. We do have a bonus with Phillips' time with Fangio in Miami in 2023, and he had 6.5 sacks in 8 games before he got injured. So I think the chess pieces that were added for Fangio to kind of move things around, I'm looking forward to that. I'm kind of excited about how that plays out. I'm stunned that they're 1.5-point dogs, but that to me feels like on a neutral site they would be favored by 1.5. And what's the over/under here? I think, guys, on tush push. Do we see?
There is a betting line.
There is a betting line. John gave it to us yesterday.
There's a betting line at you get it at 1.5 tush pushes for the Eagles. But if you run a trick play out of it, it does not count.
Yeah, just the regular tush push. But
it must be a tush push.
That's a lock bet because that could be back-to-back plays. It could be 3rd and 3 and 4th and 1.
I agree with you.
That feels like 1.5 on the first drive. Take the over.
All right.
I think Nick is the type of guy fully aware, and if he has the opportunity, he's not going to back down from running that play multiple times.
All right, Kevin, I have a question for both you and Andrew DeCecco because both of you are college football nuts, right? Andrew does it for the draft and his coverage of the NFL. Like earlier this year, when we were talking about Darius Cooper, DeCecco just goes, out of Tarleton State. Like it was nothing, right? Like it just slipped off his tongue. So I'll ask you both, 3 players that you scouted at some point from its obscure colleges that maybe most people would not know about. I'm not talking about this upcoming draft. I'm just saying all time. You were like, that's a player that I liked coming out of this college.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Oh, wow. I would say, and it's not an obscure college, but I was on him, way before a lot of people, and I was really proud of him. I thought Zay Flowers at BC a couple years ago, I was like, this kid is going to be the real deal. And he shocked a lot of people, especially with his rise as quickly as it was, and then to go in the first round. So I hang my hat on Zay Flowers just because I know he comes from a Power 5 or a Power 4, but he was one of those guys that I knew would actually have an immediate impact. And with the Ravens doing what they did, it made sense.
Andrew?
I'm kind of curious of where Andrew comes from on this.
Oh, he's got a list, I'm sure.
Dude, it's unbelievable.
Alex Highsmith out of Charlotte.
Okay.
I remember, scouting him at the East-West Shrine Bowl and mentioning to someone, I said, he's going to go late day 2. And he was widely projected everywhere else to go day 3. And a lot of folks were like, no, you're out of your mind. And he went late day 2. And you see what he's able to do all these years later for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
This is why I rely on the two of you. All right, you guys are my information, so I appreciate both of you.
I'll tell you, there's another guy that I really liked early last year, and I'm clearly you can't hide the kid because the way he emerged in the offense from a small school, and that was Bowling Green, Harold Fannin. Like, the guy is going to be a stud. He's playing some impact minutes already with the Cleveland Browns at tight end. That guy could do anything he wants, and eventually he's a guy that I think in that division fits perfectly over the next 4 or 5 years.
Kevin, listen, man, we always appreciate the time. Can't wait to talk to you again next week, as always, and enjoy your weekend and a chest day Monday against the Green Bay Packers.
Thanks, Kev.
Well, let's hope Tuesday you're actually feeling really good. Birds.
I'll do creatine. Don't worry.
Go.
Thanks,
Go
brother.
Birds.
We appreciate it.
Thanks, Kevin.
There's our man, Kevin Nagandi, on the Comcast Business Hotline. All right, coming up next, we go from Nagandi to Tony Jones, who is one of the newer reporters for the Sixers, covers the Sixers for The Athletic. We had him on right before the season started. It was a great 4-0 start. It's kind of slowed down since. We talk about the Sixers, Joel Embiid, Paul George, whenever he may return, and what Nick Nurse has to figure out this offense when Embiid's on the floor with these young run-and-gun guards that you have. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic. Let me tell you about my FanDuel Sportsbook app. We're about to use it. I actually just wrote down my picks. Look at the FanDuel Sportsbook app, and I will give those to you coming up around 9:40 when we do our pick segment. Hopefully I have a 4-0 week. That'd be nice.
You need one.
But before we even talk football, how about happy hour? You tell me a happy hour, I say where. I'm in. FanDuel Fridays, in partnership with Valley Forge, is turning it up with NBA Happy Hour. Every Friday from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Eastern, FanDuel is dropping limited-time specials to get you in the zone. Boosts, bonuses, surprises, all designed to bring that Friday energy. This isn't just another promo. It's your weekly pregame. NBA Happy Hour every Friday, 6 to 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Now, that's like after dinner time for me, but we're talking about our betting happy hour. Only on FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Visit FanDuel.com/Fanatic. That's FanDuel.com/Fanatic to grab your reward before the clock expires. You got to be 21 plus and present in Pennsylvania. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Flyers find another win. I'm Connor Thomas, and it was a nice road trip for the Flyers. They took down the Predators 3-1 yesterday. They improved to an 8-5-1 record on the year. Travis Konechny led the way with a goal and an assist in the game. They're going to be back in action at home against the Senators tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eagles got back to work yesterday as they come off the bye and prepare for their Monday night matchup with the Green Bay Packers. Jalen Hurts talked about what his focus was on over the bye week.
It's good to be back. Just from a macro perspective, you always take a step back and try to assess where you are, assessing where we are as a team, and assessing where we are as an offense, and assessing where I am in my play and how I can be better, and then how we can all improve.
So we'll look at improvements from the Eagles when they take the field at Lambeau. We'll also be looking at health. They got healthier over the bye week, but Cam Jurgens did not practice on the first injury report of the week yesterday, so there are questions at center for the Birds on Monday. Sixers are off tonight. They're going to host the Raptors tomorrow at 7:30 at the Xfinity Mobile Arena. The return of throwback black jerseys. Andrew DeCecco remains with the guys for the remainder of the show. Coming up next, Tony Jones at The Athletic will talk to us about those Sixers. This update is brought to you by Groundworks, your trained and certified experts for basement waterproofing and foundation repair since 1997. Book your free inspection at groundworks.com. I'm Connor Thomas on your home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Attention.
for the remainder of the show. We got our pick segment coming up around 9:45 as Matt Manarik just brought in the Frank's Red Hot Goldfish,
which are just amazing,
for Andrew DeCecco to try. That's a foxhole move.
This has to be
by
on
Matt
air.
Manarik.
This has to be. You must try on air.
All right, yeah, because this is an important moment.
I want the bag open for us to.
Well, yeah. I need to hear because there's a bit of a
was
kick
an agenda,
to it, and it's tremendous. Matt Manarik, foxhole guy, is always bringing in the goodies.
Well, he always finds too odd food. Like he can find
are you,
odd
ripping
stuff.
that bag. Are you all right over there?
It's all right. Here he goes.
All right, here he's trying the Frank's Red Hot Goldfish. What do you think?
That's the best one.
It's the best one. I told you. Yeah, I agree.
I turned my mic off so no one has to hear me chew.
That
is
the best goldfish that is on the market, and it's
It is
just
delicious.
finally starting to become popular.
Isn't it delicious?
There you go, John.
Hopefully,
Really
we
good.
have an endorsement deal coming.
Let's
All
go,
right, joining
Frank.
us now on the Comcast Business Hotline. Every day in business, big day. Let Comcast Business help you move forward with what's next. Don't worry, I'll handle the interview. You guys eat your goldfish. From the Athletic, does a great job covering what used to be the Utah Jazz, but now the Philadelphia 76ers. Our man Tony Jones joins us. Tony, good morning, man. How you doing?
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on. We had you on right before the season started. Then the Sixers go out, starting the season 4-0. Now they're 5-3. At what point does Nick Nurse realize, man, I can't keep playing Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe 40 minutes a night?
The Sixers currently have the number 1, the number 2, and the number 4 players in the league in terms of minutes played. Tyrese Maxey is number 1. VJ Edgecombe is number 2, and Kelly Oubre is number 4. At this rate, they are going to be deceased and no longer with us by December. So if you look at the front end of the back-to-back of the road trip that everybody was just on, Tyrese Maxey noticeably gassed down the stretch.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a big reason why Chicago was able to get back into the game and ultimately win that game on Tuesday. I thought if Tyrese Maxey was a little bit more fresh, if he had more legs, I think that he would have been able to figure out a way to make a shot, because all the Sixers needed was a shot to close that game out, and they would have figured out a way to close that game out, and the trip would have looked a lot different, 2-1 instead of 1-2, 6-2 instead of 5-3. So we asked Nick Nurse a couple of times on Wednesday night, just about the minutes distribution, and to his credit, I thought he was pretty eloquent about it in terms of saying, hey, we're trying to dig out of some stuff last year, we're trying to go and win games, but in some ways, he hasn't had Jared McCain. For some reason, he hasn't had Paul George at this point. Joel Embiid is on a minutes limit, so unless you're willing to play Hunter Salas and Eric Gordon and Kyle Lowry some, then essentially right now you have 2 guards that are mainly guards, and you have one guy, Quentin Grimes, who is kind of swinging in between both guard spots in the small forward spot as well.
I'd love to just hear you riff a little bit on what you saw at the end of that Chicago game, that sequence with Joel Embiid when he came into the game late in the fourth quarter.
I saw a guy who had been, and Joel said as much, and I agree with him, but I saw a guy who had been sitting for basically, 45 minutes of real time, 20 minutes of game time, try to come in a high pressure, high stress situation, and try to close that out. I don't have a problem with, getting him some looks and touches down the stretch. I think he's earned those from what he's done over the years. So I do think that he's earned those. I didn't have a problem with it. I think it probably could have been a little bit more imaginable. I didn't think there was enough pick and pop action. I didn't think they got him on the move enough. I mean, just putting him, in the mid post, isolated, against Nikola Vucevic, where the Chicago guards can come and dig down and kind of cause havoc. I didn't think that was the best option that they could have come up with. I probably would have gone with more pick and roll, pick and pop, get him into action more with Tyrese Maxey. But it's hard for somebody to come off the bench cold and close the game out. And it was. We saw the results, right? It was the final 6 minutes without a field goal, final 4 minutes without a point of any kind. They went possession of possession and possession where, the entire offense was stagnant. And I thought that there was a lot of regression towards what they looked like last year instead of what they had looked like at the beginning of this year. And I thought I think that's something that they need to fix and figure out going forward.
Tony, how do you envision the best version of this Sixers team? And let's include Paul George in the mix here as well. Is it in the half court with Joel Embiid, or is it the run and gun? And I know you can do both over the course of a game. It's going to happen. But what's the best version of this Sixers team once they have their full complement of players and there's no more minutes restrictions?
Well, I thought the best version of the Sixers team, I'm going to say this, without Paul, but the best version of the Sixers team that we've seen this year is the first half of the Bulls game. They scored 75 points. I thought that was the only half of this year where they seamlessly blended, the needs of the guards in terms of Maxey and VJ, to be able to have the space and the creativity to do what they need in the half court with the needs of Embiid, which is, he obviously is, we have to be honest, he obviously plays a different game than what the guards are playing right now. And I thought that in that first half of the Bulls game, when they built a 19-point lead, when they had a 24-point lead at its apex, that was the best version of what they can be. Now, if you integrate Paul George into that, I think that, and you integrate Jared McCain into that, I think the best version of that is, some semblance of what we saw in the first half of the Bulls game, plus the ball handling ability of Paul and the shooting ability of Jared to kind of limit some of the usage of VJ Edgecombe and Tyrese Maxey. Because this is what needs to happen. The minutes and the usage for both of those guys and for Kelly Oubre, it needs to come down. So I think that this team pretty badly needs Paul George right now because they need his ball handling, need his creativity, need his ability to shoot the ball. They don't need him to be a star, but they do need, the skill set that he brings. I think that Trendon Watford is starting to become a big part of this team with his ball handling and some of his versatility. And I think that they need Dominic Barlow back. It's kind of shocking that they need a two-way guy, but they need Barlow back because I think they need his energy and his rebounding on both ends of the floor. So, I think the road trip was frustrating from the standpoint of they had that Bulls game and they let that one get away. The Cleveland loss is obviously a schedule loss. So that trip should have been 2-1 instead of 1-2. But I still think that we need to realize that, they're not healthy yet and they're still missing some pretty major key parts.
Any update on Paul George's timeline?
Everything that I hear is that he's close and, that they're just waiting on, the word of this medical team for him to get back. He looks good in practice. He's been practicing in full for weeks. He was on the road trip. He was in good spirits. I talked to him multiple times on the road trip. I told him how much I watched the World Series because he's a Dodgers fan and I'm a Mets fan.
Yeah.
So, I told him how much I watched the World Series. He had a Dodgers hat the night after Game 7. So he's in good spirits. And, it's just at this point, they're just waiting for the word go from his medical team.
Oh wait, we were loving you, Tony.
Yeah, we'll ignore the Mets thing.
We're gonna
for
try
now.
to let's try to ignore that. That's something for another day.
Yeah.
And we will have an intervention another day.
I really apologize to you guys, man. I
let
really
that
screwed
slip.
This one up.
That was.
Yeah, I have disdain for the Mets more than the Dallas Cowboys, and that's something
There
in
we
this
go.
city, Tony. Listen, man, we appreciate the time as always. We'll think about having you back on again
Thanks,
sometime
Tony.
soon.
We'll
Thanks,
contemplate
man.
it.
We appreciate it, brother.
Hey, listen, thank you guys so much, man, and I'm sorry for ruining your day.
It's all good. There is Tony Jones on the Comcast Business Hotline doing a great job covering the Sixers for The Athletic. All right, coming up next, pick segment. We got to give our picks for this weekend slate. Also, the Commanders aren't really going to do it again, are they? I'll explain
They
what's
just
coming
might.
up next. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
John Mark.
Harry Mays' friendship form.
Oh my gosh, the two of them. It's
They
so
were
funny.
just talking about obscure college football schools where talented players came from.
You talk about people who haven't interacted much, that I would absolutely guarantee would have a blast just talking to each other.
Oh, yeah.
Harry Mays and our own Andrew Pacheco.
We just had a masterclass on the Wyoming defense of yesteryear. Andrew Wingard, Marcus Epps, Logan Wilson, Carl Granderson.
I could see you two hanging out.
I love college football, and I watch a lot of it. But Harry Mays, listening to Harry Mays talk college football, there's no one better in this market that even comes close. It even comes close to just the depth and the knowledge of when you're talking about point spreads and everything. And this guy, loving to study rosters, they're like brothers. Yeah. They're separated at birth.
By the way, you guys both have similar love of music too. You guys
have a similar music taste too. Yes.
Harry Mays and Andrew Pacheco, future best buddies.
I'm telling you, they have to have a lunch. You have to schedule a lunch.
I'm glad that we could start something. I mean, you'll start doing middays with them as well. You're already on with us and Unfiltered. Why not do middays with Johnny and Harry?
It would be fun.
All right. The Commanders, this per Adam Schefter, do not expect to place Jaden Daniels on injured reserve per sources. They will reevaluate his injury during the bye week. I saw that man's elbow go in the opposite direction. Don't risk anything.
They're not risking anything by waiting. They're playing the Lions this week. They have 2 games at home. They're playing the Lions, the Dolphins. If by some weird chance they find themselves 5-6, they have the bye week after that. It's 4-7, they're done. 7 losses before Thanksgiving, you're done. You're not making the playoffs with 6 games to play.
Yeah, but the timeline on that injury, I mean, realistically, is he going to be able to get back and help them win anything? I think they owe it to him to let him rest and get him back before they damage another quarterback.
Yeah, I saw them ruin Robert Griffin III. Say what you want about him.
None of those people are there.
No, I know, but it's still a law injury.
Saying that isn't real. That's not real. These people were not there. They weren't there when Robert Griffin III was there.
But the point remains: you have a young quarterback who has a bright future.
Very bright.
He had a gruesome injury. Just shut it down.
So
we all know that his season's over.
You're protecting him from himself.
Protect him from himself.
Okay.
Yeah, he wanted to keep playing even when his knee was all wobbly.
He's tough as nails, but you have to protect sometimes the player from themselves, and he has a bright future. They're not going to contend for anything. Just shut it down.
All right, football music. Johnny, tell us about Parks.
Thank you, Bet Parks. We love the Bet Parks app. I do. I'm obsessed with it. It's great. I love having $3.65 bets on things, which is fun because always round off my balance.
Of course.
So Bet Parks brings you the pick segment every week. And go visit Parks Casino, too, up in Ben Salem. It's awesome. As we head into this week, I'm leading the pack at 24-12 against the spread. 67%. Connor in second place at 19-17, 53%. And Andrew is in last.
Just hanging out.
At 16-20.
I'm just here for a good time.
44%. So hopefully we'll see a change for him. I got my 4 picks for you. And I've been on a roll with underdogs. And I may be getting too ballsy with it this week, but I'm going with 3 more this week. I'll take the Atlanta Falcons plus 6.5 versus the Colts in Berlin. I don't like those games overseas at all. And I usually feel that for the most part, one team is just as prepared as the other. There doesn't seem like you get that one team has a home field advantage. Both teams are a little discombobulated. I hate the quality of games. I'll take the Falcons plus 6.5 against the Colts.
Eggs and eggs, baby.
Not picking them to win the game, though. Don't bet them outright. The Cardinals at Seattle. I'm going to take Jonathan Gannon's Cardinals at Seattle. Seattle may be sniffing themselves a bit as a very, very, popular 6-2 team right now. I'll take the Cards. They have been a tough dog. So I'll take them plus 6.5 at Seattle.
Plus Sam Darnold stinks.
And I'm going to take the 49ers plus 4.5 as a home dog against the Los Angeles Rams. Go check out what Kyle Shanahan does to, our boy McVay. He does not exactly have a problem with him. In fact, he's dominated a lot of it. I love the Chargers, minus 2.5 on Sunday Night Football versus the Steelers. Love, capital L, love. Pittsburgh coming off a season-changing huge win at home versus the Colts, traveling across the country. Chargers minus 2.5. It is a love-it pick.
All right, love it pick. All right, Connor, what do you got?
All right, we're going to start off down in Tampa Bay, and I am taking those Tampa Bay Buccaneers minus 2.5, hosting the New England Patriots. I might be wrong. I don't think the Patriots are that good. I think they've had a very easy schedule.
They have.
Check the teams they played. I think the Bucs have had a pretty darn tough schedule. I just think they're the better football team. Plus a home game, Bucks -2.5. I'm taking Detroit -8.5 at Washington because that Commanders team is just, they are dead and gone, boys. I will take Detroit. And the one thing I love about Detroit, they like to run it up. Dan Campbell's not afraid of beating a team by 40. And then for my final spread game, I'm taking the Eagles +2.5 on Monday Night Football. I'm not quite at chest day like you, Andrew, but I think the Birds win that game outright. But you could take a +2.5 for the sake of the pick segment.
Okay.
Finally, my prop. Puka had a really good start to the year, and he just got banged up a little bit. His over-under is 91.5 receiving yards against the Niners. I'm taking Puka Nacua to go over that number.
All right.
Uh-huh.
I hate that you and I have two similar picks.
Really?
I, too, have the Detroit Lions -8.5 after they kicked me in the nuts last week when I took them. But not only is Dan Campbell not afraid to run up the score, they're also playing the team that knocked them out of the playoffs last year.
There's a little circled on the calendar.
Yeah, so Detroit Lions -8.5, and I also have the Eagles at +2.5. I got to put my money where my mouth is. Speaking of putting money where my mouth is, I keep on telling you the Baltimore Ravens will win the AFC North, and I believe they go into Minnesota and cover the 4.5 against the Vikings.
That's a big number, is it not?
9 is going to have a reality check.
I think that's a big number on the road.
Yeah, I don't love that. But
I do.
That's
Go
all right.
Ravens.
Your picks.
Lastly, this is a stank pick.
Stanky?
I will take the Cleveland Browns in New York against the Jets. The Browns -2.5. Here's why. The Jets obviously trade away 2 of their better players on defense, and the players that are still there are saying, crap, I still have to play for this team, including Breece Hall, who was not really hiding his emotions.
And I thought he'd move.
And he did not.
I really thought they'd move him.
So I don't think Breece Hall's going out there like, yeah, for the Jets.
By the way, it said they had multiple teams calling about Breece Hall.
Yeah,
now, maybe they didn't.
It's almost like they're punishing him.
I don't know what they offered.
Man, he's a good football player. He's sort of wasting
I know
away
you liked him.
But I would imagine anybody that's stolen the Jets is down the first game post-trade deadline. So I will take the Cleveland Browns to cover the 2.5 in an absolute disgusting day.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Absolutely.
We love that, and thanks to Parks. We appreciate you very much. And the folks at Parks, get on out there and have a great time.
All right, Andrew, I need you to not really wager, but I'm curious. Who are the Eagles that fly high in the second half of the season?
Oh, I love how the analogy.
Thank you.
Okay.
Top players, second half, offense, defense, whether they continue being on a good pace from the first half or maybe they turn their season around. Who are some of the players that you're expecting a big second half of from the Eagles?
Offensively, A.J. Brown. I really do believe, even as soon as Monday in Green Bay, he's going to have a big game. And I think the passing game in general is going to really start to take shape, but A.J. Brown would be my pick offensively. Defensively, I'm going to say Jalen Carter. He's had a quiet start, but I believe that the pieces around him that the Eagles have added, coupled with the bye week, and he had the shoulder and all those things, I do believe that he's going to start to wreak havoc from the interior and benefit from the surrounding talent. I'll even give you a special teams one. Cam Latu. Cam Latu is going to start to make some noise and rack up these tackles.
Only reason I ever knew about him was literally listening to this guy.
Harry's cracking up. And Harry loves your Cam Latu.
By the way,
Cam Latu is a beast on special teams.
Harry would love, by the way, your podcast. And your podcast, the way I put it is, it is a perfect. Do you have a drive to the stadium? Like I drive to the stadium. I scheduled to listen to Andrew Pacheco's podcast.
Hell yeah, man.
If you have
Appreciate
a drive that you know that you can just listen to it in its entirety, it's like you have Pacheco sitting in your passenger seat.
It's about a half hour, 35 minutes, the duration of a typical car ride, I guess.
I like that it has different varying lengths, that you don't feel the need to just create space to keep it the same.
You're
very efficient with people's time.
I end it when I end it. If I don't have anything, I don't filibuster.
He respects people's time.
Yes.
And by the way, we love it. Love having you part. And we'll talk to you Tuesday morning after the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll talk to you next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
Yeah.
Next Thursday.
Tell us about life-saving cancer research.
Hey,
please.
Davis CPA Group made a donation to the American Association for Cancer Research, and you can too. Go to 975thefanatic.com/AACR. And Andrew, get Ron your stuff that he asked you for, by the way.
He texted me. I know.
Good, because he's asked me to tell you that. Cancer research saves lives. We love Davis CPA Group. They're awesome.
Hey, they help me out with my taxes.
And guess what? That's why he wants your paperwork. Get it to him now.
Damn right. Andrew, have a great weekend. Thank you as always. Bye week is
Pleasure,
over
man.
for you. Get back
Oh yeah,
to work,
no,
damn it.
listen, I'm always working.
Get back to work.
By the way, see Good Fortune with Keanu Reeves in it.
I saw it already.
I loved it.
It's a good movie.
Loved it.
It is.
I told Andrew to go see it with his wife.
I saw the Bruce Springsteen movie the other day with my dad.
And I heard it was not so good.
Jeremy Allen White, however, tremendous performer.
not a good
Who's
movie.
that, Lip Gallagher? The bear guy?
Who? Yeah.
You never seen Shameless?
No, he was in The Bear.
I need you to
I
go,
don't.
I need you to
I
go
don't watch
home.
Shameless.
Everybody have a great weekend. Middays with Marks comes your way next with Harry Mays. And shout out to Haley Taylor-Simon, who's about to fly out. She's going to Lambeau. So everybody wish Haley some safe travels. Have a great day, everybody. We'll talk to you on Monday here on The Fanatic.